Charlie, will you edit that?
Your arguments are invalid from here on out based on that sentence alone.
So let's go with let's start talking about Splinter Cell.
Splinter Cell?
Dude, let it go.
It would smell like an edition of People magazine.
No like self-loathing backstories.
Okay,
Well, unless they have a
backstories.
comical ending.
Somewhere in there's a high five. I don't know.
We're not a garage band, dude. We're a garage podcast.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, you did. You know why? Because it sucked. About to get real up in here.
That's not the line.
You were discredited right now.
I know.
But still edit this part out.
All right, welcome to the show. This is Hey, Let's Talk About This. Sitting at the round table tonight, we have some say that he can understand what the Velociraptors are saying to each other in Jurassic Park.
Yes.
It's Charlie.
It's something along the lines of "Get me out of here, get me out of here." Where's the food?
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's pretty simple.
That's pretty logical. It's like, who are all these people and why are they in my home?
Oh, legend has it that he doesn't always have a valid argument, but when he does, it's the next day in the shower. It's David.
That is completely true. I win every argument the day after.
So, like, what? You're 100 for 100 on that one?
Exactly. Perfect score.
And experts say that she knows where Bigfoot lives and that they hang out on a regular basis eating beef jerky. It's Angeline.
I do hang out with Bigfoot quite often. I don't know if his name is Tanner or Charlie, but
Charlie, do you
What
have
is
big
it right
feet?
now? What name are you going with right now?
I'd have to say Tanner.
All right.
You have two men in your life. That's what you're trying to say.
And I am John, and I will be providing the material for the arguments this episode. On this episode, we will be giving our review of the rebooted Jack Ryan Shadow Recruit movie. We will be discussing why movies flop, what new games are going to be coming out this year, and we will ask the question, does eating a 5-pound bag of gummy bears warrant a phone call to 911? So we want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Hey, Let's Talk About This. However you may be listening, whether it is live, via the podcast, or even by the radio, we thank you for checking us out and hope that you enjoy the show. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Let's kick it off with our reviews for the rebooted. I keep seeing
Re-embooted.
but the rebooted version of
Re-embooted.
Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan series. Now, this is a famous series from the 80s and the 90s. We have, in the original one, we have Hunt for Red October, Clear and Present Danger, Patriot Games, Sum of All Fears. These are some of Tom Clancy's most famous books, but they went back and decided to reboot the whole series. And they did it with Chris Pine, who's a fantastic actor. You'll know him from the new Star Trek movies. And they brought in Kevin Costner to play his mentor in this one. And so, Angeline, Charlie, I know you guys went and saw this movie. Have you guys seen the original ones?
No.
No, I'm not.
You haven't seen
I
any
hadn't
of
read
those.
the book or anything.
But you hadn't seen.
Hunt for Red October.
You hadn't seen Hunt for Red October.
Oh, no,
Clear
yeah,
Present
yeah,
Danger.
yeah.
Okay.
I've seen many of the Tom Clancy movies. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the same character from those movies, Jack Ryan. So Alec Baldwin played him. Harrison Ford played him. Ben Affleck.
Well, maybe
played
you
him.
should check out who
Affleck.
didn't play him.
So-
According to Craig Ferguson, Dame Judi Dench.
Is the only one that didn't.
Yeah. He played a game. Which one didn't play Jack Ryan?
She would have killed it though.
Yeah.
So, so you've seen those ones. What were your expectations of this one? Did you realize that that they were re-embooting it?
I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
Well, I didn't. I kind of. You mean rebooting like kind of the franchise?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. It felt a lot of the same. In reality, I mean, it felt like a Tom Clancy, very fast-paced, very intense.
Right.
But I had no idea. No, I knew it was Tom Clancy, so I expected a certain level. I had a certain level of expectations, but what that was, I'm not positive.
Angeline, what about you?
I didn't have any, expectations. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I didn't have any expectations of it going into it, but, I thought it was good. I found myself holding my breath, at certain parts of the movie.
That's always good. That's what you want that type of movie to do, too.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was? What caused you to do that?
Well, any scenes with water in them, they, make me do
okay.
that.
All right.
Really?
Yeah.
Water?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple intense scenes with water, with possible drownings taking place. For me, it was always taking that person out of their element and making them do something that they're not accustomed to doing, like in this situation. Because Jack Ryan he's an analyst for the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you take someone like that character out of their element and then put them into the mix of things in the middle of the war or the battle, and they have to do something, I always sit on the edge of my seat in that, just because technically they're not trained in that, or they don't have experience doing that sort of thing. So that's why I was wondering what made you hold your breath in the movie and why.
That too. Well, and or when there's a certain time limit and they're counting down for this person before the bad guy gets there, it's I find myself holding my breath, hurry up, get out of there.
Dave, what about you? Are you a fan of Tom Clancy books and the movies?
I haven't read any of the books, but I thoroughly enjoy the movies. Clear and Present Danger, I think, is my favorite of those, and then The Hunt for Red October is a very, very close second. And I like Chris Pine. I haven't seen it. I want to, but I don't know. I'm a little when I first saw the trailer, I was a little concerned that for me it felt too just the trailer. So this is just kind of my initial reactions, and you guys can tell me if.
Well, that's fine, because I was going to get to your expectations, even though you hadn't seen it. What do you want from it?
Well, what I want, I don't know what I want from it. That's kind of the interesting thing. But my initial reactions to it is it feels too Jason Bourne-ish. Because that doesn't feel like Jack Ryan to me.
Sure. Because
it's like you said before, he is an analyst, and so I'm a little worried that. Yeah, he's an analyst. He's out of his element.
Let me jump in right now and tell you it's not.
It's not Jason Bourne-ish. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Okay, that's
I think
good.
they did that in the previews to hype up the action, to let you know that this is going to be an action-packed movie.
Mm-hmm.
There are going to be a lot of stunts involved, but it's not a Jason Bourne type movie where he's taking on 10 guys at a time. In fact, I don't really think he does fight anybody, really. I mean, he gets into some scuffles, but it's not
just the one guy.
Yeah, it's not like he has to do anything spectacular.
And does he struggle in those?
No, he does fine. He at one point he just kind of recognizes that he needs to man up for the situation, and he just does it.
The only guy he fights is Neo.
The only fights is Neo.
Yeah.
From the Matrix.
Keanu Reeves shows up? Fantastic.
Nah, so
all right.
No, you don't need to worry about that aspect.
Okay.
They didn't turn Jack Ryan into Jason Bourne.
Well, and I do also just remembered that the ending to Patriot Games, he does kind of take out an entire house of terrorists.
Yeah, he does.
So I kind of have to eat my own words there.
Well, that's just it. It's difficult because he has it in him to do it, obviously from the books and the movies, the way they've been portrayed. But it's not in his nature to just do it.
Yeah.
You watch Patriot Games, and he interrogates that guy in his house, and he's not telling him anything, so he shoots him in the leg. Mm-hmm. But then you watch Clear and Present Danger, and the dude is slipping on rocks and slipping on mud, and he can't walk through the jungle, and he can't handle a gun or anything like that. And it's like, wait, wasn't this guy a Marine? Didn't he fight?
He can still hop onto a helicopter just fine.
So
but I also think, too, is just the trend of films nowadays with Jason Bourne, with Taken, that has kind of become in vogue to have that, Krav Maga, shaky cam, quick, breaking bone.
It's nothing
action
like
and
that.
Fantastic.
It's nothing like that. It, if anything, I would say they took the confidence from those movies and gave it to Jack.
Okay.
They don't take, they don't give him a fighting style that he uses or anything like that. Like, it's his confidence. It's his confidence in himself and in what he knows. Like,
Okay.
there's a lot of times in the movies where he has to reassure people because of what he knows, that type of thing. One thing
Cool.
that I wanted to bring to light and that I really liked about this movie is, if you remember in Hunt for Red October, they give a quick background of him and what happened to him, how that he was involved in a helicopter crash, that he saved the guys that were with him. He had to learn learn how to walk again. Excuse me.
You're just getting
And,
so choked up about
and
this.
yeah,
It's just so awesome.
that he had to learn how to walk again and go through rehab and stuff. They quickly talk about that in Hunt for Red October, but that's how they show this. They show that in this movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they kind of show
Cool.
that background and stuff. And I really like that. That it was like, okay, we're not going to do away with everything that has been laid down, the foundation that was laid down. We're not going to bulldoze that and just and do what we want with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're going to build off of what people may already know and then show it. So I thought that was really cool. You guys have anything else to add?
Well, you know, I'm a little bit oblivious to the whole. It makes sense now. You say rebooted, and it didn't click until you said that. I had no idea that they were even the same characters. I thought they were just making books in the movies. I had no idea the books were all with the same guy, which makes total sense now. But I never put two and two together. But now saying that you're rebooted, okay, this is like the precursor. So all these other movies happened after the fact, after he was established Jack Ryan, right? So it makes more sense. At the beginning of the movie, I didn't know that Keira Knightley plays in that. I was gonna say Natalie Portman, but
That's
it
a
took me a minute, and she looked a lot different at the beginning, and then about midway through the movie, I was like, "Oh, that's who it is." Okay,
It's a
Took you a
much
little bit. Well, and
safer assumption than Kristen Stewart and Kirsten Dunst. So
well, she's speaking in an American accent. You know, she's not speaking in a British accent. So.
yeah, that's true.
And that threw Cat off.
And-
too, when we were watching
Oh
it.
yeah, that's true. That really threw me
Charlie,
off.
to defend you even more, Keira Knightley was Natalie Portman's double in The Phantom Menace.
Oh, she was.
So
Sure.
mistaking the
Oh, I
two,
didn't have that. Isn't
not a
It's almost
They
like
look very
mistaking
similar.
twins.
yeah.
The teeth. That's the only thing that's different.
Their teeth were quite a bit different.
One of them has a razor blade.
And
too.
and when one of and when they speak, one of them's British and the other one's not.
Except for in this movie.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
kept
No, I
waiting for it.
thought overall it was a fantastic Tom Clancy Jack Ryan movie, and I thought it was a fantastic way to reimagine, reboot the franchise
Yeah, it was
for
great.
a new generation.
So, do we know what's on the horizon? What they're going to be coming out with?
What I understood from the beginning is that when they signed Chris Pine to do it, there was going to be a trilogy, and I believe Keira Knightley and Chris Pine have signed on for all 3 movies.
And what are the other 2 going to be?
It's not announced yet. I don't know if they're going to redo books that have already been made, if they're going to take from other books, or if they're just going to take from just kind of manuscripts or material that Tom Clancy had written down.
I'd love for them to reduce speed.
I think you know,
Wrong on so many levels, isn't it?
You're on one with Keanu tonight. That's the drinking game for the show. How many Keanu references can
Maybe-
Charlie make in this episode?
Maybe it's because we didn't get to talk about Point Break enough last week. Maybe that was it. I don't know.
oh, they're
Still want to get that out?
they're rebooting that. Yeah,
Yeah, they are actually.
yeah.
Did you know that? Quick side note: did you know that there's a restaurant in California that you can go there and reenact Point Break?
I heard
The whole,
No, I
The
did
bank robbery scene.
like no, the whole movie. Like somebody
What?
can play Johnny Utah, and you have their script, and people will hold up cue cards off out of view, and you say your lines, and you get a gun with blanks, and you do the whole movie.
Who was
so.
it? Was it
This sounds like the
Keanu Reeves was on a show with
Dan Patrick.
Dan Patrick. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
That's
Keanu was talking about it because he wants to go and do it.
yeah.
When Patrick Swayze was alive, he went and did it.
Do you want to? Do you ever think about just showing up there one day and?
That sounds like you've seen The Man Who Knew Too Little with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
It sounds exactly like that. Only he didn't have cue cards to tell him what his parts were, but that sounds fantastic.
All right, let's get back to Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit. Angeline, what are you going to give this movie?
B.
Ooh, okay.
B's good. I liked getting B's in school.
I'm gonna give it a C.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
really?
Average. Okay.
Just average.
Just
huh?
average.
Okay, Dave, you wanted to make a comment right there.
Well, I was just going to ask if Kenneth Branagh had signed on to direct the next one.
You know, I'm not sure. The guy that he's referring to is the bad guy in the movie.
Who also directed it.
Right.
Okay.
So the evil Russian bad guy directed the movie. I'm not sure if he is signed on to continue to do it. I would like that. I would love to see a director sign on and do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you hardly ever see that. You rarely see it. The most famous probably being Lord of the Rings, where somebody signed on to direct all 3 movies.
Well, and Branagh usually directs, dramas and Shakespeare adaptations, so it's cool to
Right.
see him
Right.
kind of branch out, because he did the first Thor, which he did a fantastic job with. And so with this, that's cool. I'll have to go see this.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. You know what? As far as my expectations going in, I was worried, like Dave was, is that they were going to Jason Bourne it, and that he was going to be dismantling guys with guns and take on a whole battalion of men, and he didn't. It was very traditional Jack Ryan, very traditional Tom Clancy, and for that I'm going to go A-, just because it superseded my expectations of what I wanted it to be, as far as a Tom Clancy movie, and I was really, really pleased with it.
Cool.
I think I was very harsh on it because I have high expectations for it, and I still thought it was a great movie.
Good fun popcorn movie.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I was so full from dinner, I'll say that for the grab. I was so full from dinner I couldn't. I didn't have any room for popcorn during the movie, so.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next subject. Before we do, we want to put it out to you guys. If you've already seen it, it's been out for a day at this point. If you've seen Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, hit us up on Facebook. You can text the show. We definitely want to hear from you and what you guys' thoughts are of the movie. If you guys liked it, if you didn't like it, we want to hear your takes on it. We want to hear your reviews because they're always valid as well. And so,
Do
let
we
us
have
know.
a post on the Facebook page that they can just go to and comment?
Not yet. Not yet.
Dave, why don't you get on that?
I'll get on that.
We usually wait a couple of days before we do it, but we'll be sure to do it. Be looking out for it. We want to hear your take on the movie. Up next, we actually have this next subject comes from a listener who requested that we talk about why movies flop, particularly blockbuster movies that summer blockbuster or even winter blockbuster. Why are these types of movies flop, and what causes them to flop? Because I really do think it's simple, and I think that there's a 1, 2, and 3 to make a movie flop, and we can get into that. But first, I wanted to ask the question: what makes you want to see a movie? Like Charlie, Angeline, Dave, you two went and saw Jack Ryan. Dave, you say you want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you guys want to go see it? And Dave, why do you want to go see it? Why do you want to see a movie like that? Why do you want to see the next comic book movie coming out, or the next date movie, romantic comedy, something like that? What makes you want to see a movie?
Well, usually it's just first thing is the genre. So, like you said, why do I want to see the next comic book movie? Because it's a comic book movie, and I like comic book movies. And then what characters it is, what actors, all those things kind of will factor into what makes me want to see a movie. So yeah, if it's about comic books, science fiction, fantasy, horror, has actors or actresses I like, that's what makes me want to go see it.
Okay, Angeline, what about you?
I'm with Dave on the whole genre thing. Like, I think it depends on who you are and, like, what type of genre you like. Because, like, my mom would never want to go see Jack Ryan because she doesn't like action, thriller, like, she's just not into that. So, I mean, she might go see it if my dad wanted to go see it. But, like, I think it's just who you are, like, what type of genres you like. So I think genre is the number one. And then I think also like how well they do on the trailers. Like if they make the trailer look good, then people will be more willing to go see it, unless I don't know.
No, trailers definitely have a huge impact on the movie and a huge impact on the result of how well the movie does. Charlie, what about you?
What makes me want to go see a particular movie?
Sure.
Trailer does do a big influence because I really want to see that movie because they plaster you with trailers before a movie comes out and while it's in the theater. As soon as it's gone, man, you don't hear another peep about it unless it's coming out on DVD. And so that is a big motivator for me. If that's not the case, then it's usually because you are telling me about it or someone else I work with, which is the other big thing. Occasionally, dude, I totally
word
am.
of mouth is.
I really am. Like, I hear somebody talk about, I saw that movie, it was so good. I'll go see it. I try to take it with a grain of salt so that I'm not. If people hype it up too much, it can tend to be. I can tend to be too hard on it, but I think that I don't know. That's really I'm like follow the crowd type of guy. Like I unless I've read the book, like Ender's Game, I was really pumped to see that only because I had been hoping for a movie for a long time. So I mean, I'm totally just going along for the ride when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Well, all right. Hey, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the trailer. Let's talk. Almost every single one of you guys brought up the trailer and how well the trailer is portrayed. Now, one of the movies that's out right now, and it's absolutely tanking, and I think it's just because it's a horrible movie in general, but the trailers don't help it, is The Legend of Hercules.
Yeah.
And it's just it showcases way too much, and almost like you find that there's been times where I've gone and seen comedies where all the funny parts, like if I remember right, Adam Sandler's Mr. Deeds, all the funny parts in that movie were in the trailer. And I remember not laughing at all in the theater, but I found myself anticipating the parts from the trailer because I wanted to laugh, because I wanted to hear something funny. And so the trailer, I guess you could say, I don't know, do you want to say that the trailer makes or breaks the way how the movie does?
The trailer absolutely can, and it really just comes down to what the trailer shows, and that's a difficult thing because you want to show enough to get the audience interested, but you also don't want to give away the entire movie. It's my favorite example to use is What Lies Beneath, that movie with Harrison Ford.
Oh yeah, with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, the ghost story, and that the trailer gives away a very integral plot point that if that would have been held back, would have given the movie a lot more impact. But since they reveal in the trailer this particular thing, it's like it takes away from the movie. Same thing with comedies. If you show all the funny parts, if you can show all the funny parts in 2 minutes, your movie's not good anyway. But it's still Do you remember the audience still needs to be surprised.
Do you remember the movie The Recruit? You guys remember that movie? Colin Farrell, Al Pacino.
Yes.
Colin Farrell gets recruited into the CIA. I remember in the trailers, they were going like in the beginning, the middle, and the end of the trailer. You kept hearing Al Pacino being like, "Nothing is what it seems," and it was like, obviously you're the bad guy because you're supposed to appear as the good guy, but then you're going to be the bad guy, and look what happened. You're the bad guy, And
so,
even at the end, like Colin Farrell, like all the CIA guys have their guns on Colin Farrell, and he's like, "Nothing's what it seems," and like all the lasers pointed at him, like go to Al Pacino, or whatever. And it was just kind of like, you guys ruined the whole movie. Like the whole movie was about deception, and you could have played it in such a different way with the trailer that it would have been, it could have been played off differently. And I find that I'm finding, you've heard it over and over on the show where I don't really watch trailers. I watch one trailer and that's it. I don't watch any more because I don't want the movie ruined for me.
Yeah.
And I noticed that in Jack Ryan, the end sequence is ruined in the trailer. There's like the climax of the movie, the minute and a half leading up to the major climax of the movie is ruined in the trailer. And if you don't know that when you watch the trailer, you just kind of take but when you see the movie, you're just you feel cheapened.
Yeah.
And you feel cheated because they ruin that for you in the trailer. Yeah, they splice it up with a bunch of other action sequences, but it got ruined for you. And I wish people. You're dying to say something, aren't you?
No, I was about to say I completely agree because I've had that happen in a couple of movies when as I'm watching the movie and the end comes up, I'm like, wait a second, they showed that in the trailer.
Yeah.
Why would you show any sequence in the last 20 minutes of a movie in the trailer?
Yeah.
You know, and you do you feel cheated, and it's just like, why do that?
And I find that when, like Charlie, you talked about getting inundated with trailers, you know, on TV. Usually they're running 3 or 4 different TV spots, and they're just showing so much stuff, like almost the whole movie. If you took all the TV spots in the trailers, you could probably splice together.
Yeah, it's true.
The gist of the movie.
Unless it was the trailer to Superman.
Okay, that's just it. Like, let's talk about that for a second, because I love how J.J. Abrams and Zack Snyder, and I'm sure Christopher Nolan had a lot to do with that. Christopher Nolan and J.J. Abrams are known for the way that they do their trailers, which their teaser trailers are next to nothing. Do you remember the movie?
Well, yeah, we do need to differentiate between a teaser trailer and a trailer.
Well, okay, but even at that, you could even say some of their teaser trailer or some of their trailers are just a teaser trailer because of how much they don't show.
Yeah, that's true.
But like, because you take, for instance, did you guys see that movie, Super 8?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What'd you think of that movie?
I liked it. I actually think when trailers show that little of the movie, it makes people want to know. It makes people want to see it. They're like, I want to know what that's about.
The Super 8's the one that Steven Spielberg did with the boys.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And the alien.
Yeah.
Kind of the Goonies meets E.T.
Yep.
Yeah, which I don't like alien movies, but that one, surprised me. So
Was it because you didn't know anything? Were you more intrigued, or
I
was
think
it just
so.
Yeah? See, and I totally agree. I totally agree with that concept. This is a situation in life where less is more. The less you show, the more people will enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you show,
Just like with Smog.
absolutely, dude, that's brilliant.
Yeah, I was actually with the Smog trailers. I was surprised how much they showed of Smog in the trailer for Desolation. I liked how little they showed in There and Back Again. But that's still an example of, to me, I was surprised that they showed as much as they did, but I also think that they showed just enough. Because they you got a quick glimpse of his face,
Yeah.
but that still didn't take away from that reveal moment in the movie when he comes out of that golden. Oh man, awesome.
No, Charlie, that's a brilliant example right there of just kind of allowing you to experience the big reveal or the big shock and awe factor of the movie in the theater instead of catching glimpses of it or even revealing it during the trailer. Let's talk about a little bit about what people were saying about it on Facebook. We posted this on Facebook, and we had a lot of responses. Actually, we had a good turnout of responses, and we want to thank you guys for responding to that and sharing your thoughts on it. I'm trying to find it here. All right, let's see. We have listener Johnny wrote this. He said this: studios believe that compelling stories and deep characters aren't as integral to a movie success as money spent. And while some horrible movies make tons of money, they're ultimately forgettable and interchangeable. He comments on Johnny Depp and the Johnny Depp craze and says Johnny Depp equals overpaid and interchangeable in every role. The original post that we put on there was that we posted was, why do some of Hollywood's big budget movies flop? And this was not meant to be a discussion between. So the original post reads, why do some of Hollywood's big budget movies flop, such as John Carter and The Lone Ranger? This was not meant to be a discussion about John Carter or The Lone Ranger. it kind of turns out to be that way in the comment section, but it was more like these were examples of it.
But I do think in the defense and let me start over again. The points that were made in defense of those films still answer the question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I know I wrote a post on it, saying that I did enjoy the movie, but it did fail, and I do think there are very specific reasons as to why it did.
Okay.
So,
well, let's see. Listener and host Lauren here chastises a little bit and said, "Please don't mention John Carter. I love that movie," but he brings up a good point. He says, "Of all the marketing points that would have gotten more bums in the seats, none of them were used in advertising. It's flippin' travesty." Another one, The Golden Compass. That movie was killed by infantile lies about the author and falsely broadcast untruths on content. And so, Lauren's take is marketing.
mm-hmm.
The angle of marketing, the way a movie gets marketed and advertised, will also have a big result. Will cause a big result in the outcome of the way how the movie's portrayed. What are you guys' takes on that?
I absolutely agree. Just like we were discussing with the trailers on choosing what you show and what you don't. How you market a film is going to directly result in who is going to go see it. And that can play a huge difference in just how you choose to portray that movie. It's like you can take Mary Poppins. I love how this happens all over on the internet. They take Mary Poppins and they'll recut it, scenes from it, as a horror film.
Yeah.
And when you watch through that, you can actually kind of see that how it could be portrayed as a horror film. And marketing is the same way.
Have you ever seen Count Dracula? Edited, cut.
Wait, what?
Count Dracula.
Are we talking about? Wait.
Are you talking about the Sesame Street one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true. That's a good point, Charlie. Count Dracula edited, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The Count.
The Count censored.
Yeah, the Count censored. That's right.
So yeah, how you market a movie is going to give the audience the initial impression of what it is. And if it's done poorly, then people are going to go in expecting one kind of film and come out with
Oh yeah.
with
I watched
something
Sesame
totally
Street
else.
for 3 weeks after that. You know what kind of show I got after that? Not what I expected. Totally different.
The fact that you can't remember Sesame Street from your childhood is a whole other issue. But
Charlie didn't have cable growing up.
seeing as how it was on public broadcasting.
Well, we didn't have cable legally growing up. We had to steal from the neighbor.
Well, let's look at it like this, because here's a list. You can go on Wikipedia and check out this list. But I grabbed I got 5 here, 5 movies that just kind of show you the range. It's not just big, summer blockbuster movies, but The Lone Ranger is one of them. I believe it's number 3 on the list. But it lost in between $94 and $120 million. There's the movie with Ryan Reynolds, R.I.P.D., the Rest in Peace Department.
Mm-hmm.
That lost $90 to $114 million. John Carter lost $108 million, roughly, is what they're calculating. Now, worldwide, it did 200. The budget for John Carter was 250. Worldwide, it did 282, but they're still saying like domestically.
Yeah, domestically, it lost money.
Yeah, Ali lost about 63. Land of the Lost with Will Ferrell, that was his dinosaur movie, lost
Trying to
about
reboot
65.
that show.
Yeah, it cost $100 million to make it and only did $68 million. So, I hear you though. Marketing is a huge thing. I remember with if you go back to a show during July, I bet it was around June or July. One of my gripes was how much they were showing the Lone Ranger commercials, and it was like the NBA Finals were on during that time, and there were still the playoffs, and it was like they were splicing NBA playoffs. They were comparing NBA playoffs to the Lone Ranger, and like
What?
stuff that was like it was just so stupid, you know. And it was like both are fighting.
Maybe
for
that
gold
was its
and-
demise. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe they were over playing those way too much.
Well, that's what I wanted
Maybe.
to bring up for you guys to discuss was, you know, when you see something like that, do you start to take a movie less serious? Do you get tired of seeing something like that when they run a marketing ploy like that? Is that something that's going to annoy you to the point where you don't want to see it?
Well, I definitely think you can get too much. I think there's definitely times when you just get sick of it way too much.
Now, did you guys see Lone Ranger?
Yes.
You did? You guys saw it?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you guys think of that movie?
I liked it because I didn't take it seriously.
Okay.
Angeline? Yeah.
I liked it because I heard how bad it was. So I went into it expecting
So your expectations
to
were lowered.
yeah, to see this crappy film, and I actually enjoyed it. So
I liked it because I like to have government agendas shoved down my throat, hidden agendas crammed down my throat. So I really enjoyed it, actually. I thought
Yes,
it was
And we're
great.
launching into a
Yes,
whole
Charlie
other
is-
discussion.
Charlie's taking my angle on it. Dude, I liked it up until the main thing was like gun control and
Gun
you know,
control,
you
but
should
there's
feel
also
bad about the Indians and what happened to them. And
There's
that
also the
ploy.
environmental impact. The environmental impact side too. That and they had Promontory Point way off,
Yeah, they did, right? Thank you.
3 states off.
Uh-huh.
You know, being that Promontory Point really is here in Utah, that kind of upset me a little bit.
Get your geography right.
Mhm.
No, really,
I was say the Alamos in Utah.
I really see how well that goes over.
Yeah,
dude.
exactly.
Put
Right.
put that in a movie and see how well that goes over.
Oh, boy.
You're gonna have like a whole continent, Texas being a continent in itself. You're gonna have a whole state just upset about
don't
something.
mess with Texas.
No, you know what? That really bothered me about the Lone Ranger, was that like the main guy didn't want to use a gun.
Yeah.
What are you doing being a ranger? You know, like I know in the movie he was a lawyer. In the other one, you know, in the TV show, he is a ranger. But you're in the West. Like seriously, you're not gonna have your main character use a gun, and then when he does, he sheepishly and slapstickily, like shoot stuff that ricochets, and then you you end up getting a result from your ricochets on killing the bad guys or whatever. I hated
Yeah.
that. Like when the part that I'm talking about is when he shoots and it ricochets and it causes this beam to come down and hit these two guys, and it decapitates these two guys, takes their heads off,
Yeah.
and he looks at Tonto and he's like, all right, cool, good job. But like somehow because you didn't shoot them, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You know, but it's because you didn't shoot him and a beam hit him that you're okay with it. But, you know, if you would have shot him, how could you live with yourself? But since the beam did it, let's hop on our horses and go on our merry way. And then even at the end, dude, when he gets his silver bullet to save the day, the famous silver bullet, you can't even kill the guy with the silver bullet.
Yeah, that's true. I was kind of
This
disappointed.
movie deserves to fail.
Oh.
Gosh.
So that's the other reason why films fell is when they push political agendas
Yes.
maxed as actually I know that's why it's why my dad didn't like Cars 2.
You mean planes?
No, that would be Cars 3.
that movie was terrible.
Planes?
I never
Planes-
saw Cars 2.
Planes and
Cars 2 is
basically the same movie.
very environmentally
Oh, is it?
Oh,
Yeah.
dude. And they're
'Cause-
both like
yeah the whole thing is about like natural gas versus regular gas
And the Lorax, that's that way too.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen that,
I have. I wasn't all that annoyed because, like everybody told you that, Lone Ranger was awful. Everybody told me the Lorax was awful, and so I knew going in how bad it was going to be thrown in my face, and so I just sat through it and I was like, okay, it is what it is.
that's
but-
the thing. Nobody told me
Well-
about, and going into the Lone Ranger, nobody told me about the hidden political agenda, and all I heard was from the older crowd who grew up with the Lone Ranger. They were just mad because it wasn't true to the Lone Ranger.
Sure.
And that's all I really got from it, right? Was that about it?
Yeah.
Mostly just.
Well, then you throw Johnny Depp. I was okay with Johnny Depp playing Tonto. I don't care about all that stuff.
He actually.
But, like,
that's
what-
what I thought would be offensive.
Yeah,
Not
really?
offensive in a hard way, but that he was gonna like steal the movie and be all Johnny Depp and stuff, which he really wasn't too bad. Not as much as I thought it would be, anyway.
Well, you did get a bit of that pirate crossover.
You
Of
did
him,
get a
like
little- oh, yeah.
him swinging
it,
on
it,
stuff.
It still
and-
felt. I mean, even the performance, even for Johnny Depp, felt a little lazy because I actually argue that
He didn't have that many speaking roles, really. He
He was
No.
very wise when he did, though.
yeah.
But I mean, Johnny Depp usually does play. He does portray characters, and they're usually fairly different. But this one, I mean, yeah, you take Benny and June and Ichabod and
Edward,
yeah.
you got me.
Dude,
What do you got? Scissors on your hands?
when it comes to these movies, you got Charlie nailing him on the head, but then Spider-Man, Kristen Stewart sucked.
I know, right?
With these movies, Charlie's like quoting them.
But I mean, Tonto felt like. I mean, and again, I liked this movie. I thought it was cheesy and ridiculous, and that entertained me, and that's all I needed. That's all I needed out of it.
It should have been cheesy. It should have been that way.
But it still felt like a watered down version of Jack, and I think that also kind of plays into the marketing. Jack is now the Sparrow is now a very marketable money making character,
sure.
and so that for Depp felt a little lazy. Like he kind of reinterpreted that character a little bit more different.
Listener Marky Mark is texting in, echoing your guys' statements. Cars 2 sucked. His is in capital letters, all of it. Let's see, we got a text here from Lauren, who's checking out the show. He wasn't able to make it in studio tonight, but he is checking it out. And he texted in and said,
Lauren, you're in our hearts.
yeah, there's a empty seat.
Yeah, there's an empty spot.
Yes.
Yeah, Lauren never kind of had a spot. He just sort of sat wherever, so.
But he wanted to comment and say, movies that become cult films are usually ones that failed in the box office. Others transcend the moviegoers. Others transcend the average moviegoers. And
That is
I
true.
can see that. I would say probably one of the major ones for me and my generation was Fight Club with Brad Pitt and Edward Norton. That movie tanked at the box office.
Did it tank?
Yeah, it tanked.
It did.
But now, there's a huge cult following. A lot of Quentin Tarantino's early films,
Mhm.
Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, those are all considered cult films.
Mm-hmm.
So even his name slips my mind. Lauren would be able to tell me right now, right off the bat. Director of Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels,
Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie. Thank you. A lot of his films, cult films, Layer Cake, cult film. Snatch.
Mhm.
A lot of people were on the Guy Ritchie film bandwagon until Sherlock came out.
Yeah.
So that does have a major impact
Well,
on the movie as well.
That also kind of brings up a point is another thing that can either bring people to the theaters or stay away is the director.
Yeah.
Like I will see certain films because they're directed by a director, and I will avoid certain films because they are directed by a certain director, and so that definitely plays into it.
All right, now let's talk about this a little bit. Let's talk about some recent news that has happened within the movie industry. It came out yesterday that Warner Brothers is going to push back the release of Batman vs Superman. Okay,
By how long are they pushing it back, John?
10 months, man. 10 months. They're going from July 2015 to May 2016. And
Ouch.
the explanation that was given for the reason behind that, I think, is a little ridiculous. And so the question, the end result of this, of us bringing this up, is this gonna cause you to question the quality of the movie? In order, are you gonna want to see it? Does this affect the outcome when you hear a movie that something like World War Z? World War Z was getting made. It was set for December, a Christmas Day release, got pushed back to July because of complications with producers and directors' arguments, the way it was written and how it was written and things like that. It got pushed back almost a whole year, and then it kicked butt in the box office during the summer. But, a lot of people were worried that movie was going to suck. But Warner Brothers released this statement when they announced that they were going to push back there's Man of Steel sequel 10 months. They said the filmmakers' time, they want to allow the filmmakers' time to realize fully their vision, given the complex visual nature of the story. You guys buying that?
Look at Avatar. I mean, it did terrible in theaters, and it was really it really came back after it was released.
Everybody hated that movie.
Well,
So
yeah.
much for a political agenda, right?
Oh yeah. Let's talk about.
The
Well,
adult
then there's-
version of the Lorax.
Who'd heard about the Avengers until it came out on DVD?
Really, nobody. Or Titanic.
Or
Yeah.
Titanic, or Iron Man 3 for that matter. I don't know.
And who's this Ali guy? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. That was one that tanked really bad.
Some soccer player?
Any of the Harry Potter movies, they didn't really get popular until the books came out.
Yeah.
Because the books were based off the movie, right? Chad?
Yeah.
The ones with the pictures.
Well, they're novelizations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When has that happened? When has a book been made from a movie?
Dude, all the time.
No, not like, I'm not talking like a legit, like, you take a legit book, make it into a movie, make a movie and make a legit book.
A legit book? I don't think it's ever
Not like,
happened.
I'm sorry, not like a watered down version of the movie, or don't hit me, Dave, but a graphic novel.
Why would I hit you?
I don't know. I thought you'd get offended at that. I was expecting.
I know.
I was expecting you to get a little offended.
I actually had a comic book version of Batman Returns that watered down all the violence.
Sorry,
from
you know what? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you get a little comic book in your kids' meal, something like
Uh-huh,
that. Like
uh-huh.
I mean, more legit. Like I go to Barnes and Noble and I can buy a book. Not
Like what?
like a book version of Batman Returns, but that's altered a little bit because like they're always going to alter the movie
Mm-hmm.
to fit the book.
They do that. It's just they're always no name authors, and because I had a novelization of The Frighteners that I actually read
Oh, okay.
before I saw the movie, because that's when I was younger and wasn't allowed to see R-rated films. But anyway, and so when when I actually watched the movie, I was then comparing the movie to the book, and I was like, wait a second, the book changed this.
You're like,
So
wait,
it's
what?
yeah, it's
good,
it's the reverse argument of
All right,
the book changed the movie. How dare they?
Let's talk about this. Let's get back on this real quick. So
Let's get back on track.
Warner Brothers has slated Batman vs. Superman for May 6, 2016. Okay, that slot is currently occupied by an unspecified Marvel movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Phase 3.
So you're going to have Marvel and DC going up against each other, going head-to-head on that. Do you think Marvel will keep that spot? Or do you think they'll back out and take like the following week?
I think Marvel will keep that spot. I think Marvel has gained a certain amount of confidence, and I don't see them moving down from that. The only way I see them backing out of that spot is if something gets delayed.
Okay. But you could see them putting like a Guardians of the Galaxy movie in that spot and still feeling comfortable, or a Black Panther, or a
Mhm.
Doctor Strange,
Doctor Strange.
or a Black Widow movie, or a Miss Marvel movie in that spot. You feel like that they could still feel confident enough that they would take that weekend with something like that. where it's not their heavy hitters like Thor,
Mhm.
Captain America,
Mhm.
or even an Iron Man 4 movie.
Mhm.
You feel like the Marvel still feels confident enough that they could take that weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
I think that's pretty big. That's a lot of confidence because you're taking on Batman versus Superman.
Yeah. But Marvel also has the track record and that and
That's because they put in the time.
yeah,
Where
yeah,
you have
and that's
where you have
and-
Warner Brothers wanting to cut corners.
Yeah, and that is my worry with all of these with all these comic book movies, and not only DC, but just because since the film rights to Marvel were broken up into different studios before Disney acquired them, other studios own the film versions of the characters. Fox owns X-Men, Sony owns
Yeah.
Spider-Man, and Fox and Sony are both seeing. They see the success that Disney is having, and they are now trying to do the same thing. This is my concern with Spider-Man 2. As excited as I am for that film, I am worried that because they have said yes, we're going to start world building and expanding, that they are going to rush themselves because I think they feel like they need to catch up with what Marvel has been spending the last 7 years, starting with the first Iron Man, and working out a very specific plan. And I keep hearing all these film announcements, and I'm excited, but I'm worried at the same time.
Well, you also
X-Men
hear-
has already announced Apocalypse, their next film, and then now we're going to get off of Amazing Spider-Man, we are going to get a Venom movie and Sinister Six. It's like I feel like they're rushing, and this is my concern with Superman being delayed almost an entire year, and the wordage that they use in that announcement feels to me like they are still trying to figure out how they're going to world build in this movie, which I think is a mistake.
Would you rather see? Excuse me. Would you rather see them take the time to just do it like Marvel did it?
Absolutely. I think that from what I heard about this film before, I think they had it right. I think a Superman versus Batman idea is a cool one. It's risky enough that it's different because you're pitting your own characters against each other. And that is an intriguing way to reintroduce your version, this particular version of Batman. And they should just leave it at that. Maybe when they said, okay, we're going to bring Wonder Woman, okay, that makes sense, but you hear Aquaman, I guess is a new rumor, and then it seems like every other day I'm hearing rumors about just other characters that they're trying to cram into this movie. No, just leave it at that, and then be patient enough to 2 years down the road we're going to do Flash,
Sure.
and then 3 years down the road we're going to reboot Green Lantern. That way, in 5 years, we can have, we've reintroduced all these characters. Now we can do Justice League.
I totally agree, and I think the general population is totally going to agree. We definitely want to hear your guys' opinion on this sort of stuff and hear you guys weigh in on these topics. So if you guys have any comments or opinions, be sure to hit us up on our Facebook page. You can post there. We'd love to hear from you, and we'd love to read them over the air and share them with everybody listening. So if you have comments on why movies flop, bad marketing, bad advertising, etc., just hit us up. Let us know. You can email the show at jddcshow@gmail.com, and we'd love to hear from you. So, all right, let's go ahead and roll on with the show. Up next, we got Charlie's segment.
Yes. segment. I need a good theme song for this. Maybe I should be like Bad Boys or something. The cops, the
Yeah,
cops theme song.
We'll get it. We're working on it.
We're working on it.
But
Work
this
in
is only
progress.
the second time that we've done this, so it's going to become a staple. And we've had some. Dave, you liked last week's Twitter twits.
I did.
So
I did. I was
we'll be
listening to
rolling that
on
into the
way
show
here.
a little more. And then, but Charlie, you got some more big city, little city for us
I
this
do.
week.
Big city, little city. I'm going to read out some police reports. These are real, legit police reports. You guys get to guess: is this a big city or little city police report? Last time we did this, I did a pretty good job of getting you guys. So
That's because they were all they were all little town.
we had a few big ones
They were
too.
all like Charlie's town, Charlie's
Yeah, yeah.
hometown.
So I've been following some police reports. All right, so let's get started. I'll read the police report, leaving out any incriminating details that would give it away if it's a big town, little town. A lot of these are local, so I have to
Naturally, yes.
cover up the names. Big or little, we had to break up a heated argument between two panhandlers about whose corner of blank and the corner of blank belonged to. One man was upset that the other had traveled from a certain city in the area to panhandle in his town on the corner that he thought belonged to him. Police had to break up a heated argument between two panhandlers who one stole the other one's corner. Dave, what do you think? Where's that from?
I'm gonna say little town because that just seems like that would cause panhandlers to fight over turf. You know, if it was a big enough city, they could all spread around. So, yeah, I'm gonna say little city.
Little? What do you think, Angeline?
I'll go big city.
I'm going little city.
Little?
Because here's the thing. Panhandling is new to small cities or little cities. So there's got to be some code of ethics
Ooh.
amongst the big
the
big
city.
towners
Yeah.
already know.
Yeah.
You know, and let's be honest, in big cities, there's probably some kingpin of homeless guys that's running an operation.
An
You gotta
artful
pay,
dodger.
you got to pay like 10 or 20% of your daily income to this guy in order so you can work his corner.
yeah, it's probably true.
So I'm going little city.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
We got little, and big. Well, it was a little.
Hey, I got one.
If you had to say close to medium, you might say, but it was little. Good work. All right, everyone. Here's the next one. Police claim a 92-year-old woman flew into a rage when her 53-year-old neighbor would not give her a peck. She was so angry she allegedly fired 4 rounds into her neighbor's house from a semi-automatic pistol.
Like a kiss?
Would not give her a peck.
A peck or a kiss, yeah. Wonder what they call those in the UK. If we had Lauren here, he could tell us.
Snogging.
I thought snogging was making out. Lauren, text into the show.
It is. I was just goofing, dude.
Maybe it'd be snipping. If snogging's making out, maybe. Well, because we don't call making out peckage or.
Okay. I'm going big city. Big city.
Big city?
Just because of the way it sounds, the way it's worded a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going little town. This feels like the kind of everyone knows everyone's business type of thing.
Yeah, but I don't know if that's going to cause a shooting.
She is a very angry old woman, apparently.
But check this out, Dave.
I love that we're debating
And
this.
Angeline, I'm going to sway you to big city because
She hasn't even answered.
it almost sounds like she's accustomed to getting some snogging. And so, if somebody wants some snogging and they don't get snogged, then there might be. So what I'm saying is you go over to Europe, it's custom to give some pecks on the cheeks.
Yeah.
So-
But
Yeah.
I was
So
watching
so
this.
so you're well, but you're using a country to argue whether or not it's a big.
But
it's a
most
city.
people when they immigrate to the U.S., they're immigrating to big cities.
I was watching this thing on
Okay.
Discovery Channel, and it said that people in little towns are more likely to take care of things themselves because the police don't get out to their house or just have so much on their
Oh.
plate. So, I'm going to go with little town too because they were saying that these people will be like, you don't do what I'm telling you, I'm going to take care of this myself. So I'm going with little town.
Okay.
Survey says
Big city.
Oh!
For the win.
Yeah. Well played, sir. Well played.
If I've learned anything from doing a few of these, is that you can never tell if it's a big town or little town. But we'll still try to go at it. Okay, here's the next one. Officer Johnson went to unlock a man's car door since he locked his keys inside. Since he was able to get the car opened, the man got his keys, and then she arrested him because he had a warrant. This doesn't have as much to do with a big town, little town, but I thought that was a funny one.
Wait, what?
So the officer went to unlock a
Okay.
man's car
Okay.
door. He locked his keys in his car. So this officer is a female, and she opened his car, used her Slim Jim or whatever, got this man's keys for him, and as soon as she got him into his car, she served him with arrested him because he had a warrant. Big city, little town. What do you think?
I'm going little city on this one.
Little town.
Dave?
Just to add some spice, I'll go big city on this one.
It is indeed little.
Yes.
I got a couple more here. Actually, I've got a.
You are on fire.
I've got a bunch, but I'll try to go quick on these. Family problem in the particular city. Officers responded to a residence on a report of a juvenile male who was out of control and being physically violent towards his mother. This is the one I shared with you guys before. A juvenile being physically violent towards his mother. During the investigation, it was found that the juvenile had slammed his mother's head against the wall while choking her. He then used a lamp and had struck his mother's arms while she was shielding her face. Prior to officers' arrival, the juvenile reportedly attempted to gain access to some knives but was unsuccessful in retrieving them. When officers asked the juvenile what had been done, what could be done to prevent this from occurring in the future, he replied, "She," meaning his mom, "can make me a sandwich when I want it." Due to the violent behavior, the juvenile exhibited the fact that he had used a makeshift weapon to assault his mother. Was placed under arrest and booked into the youth detention center for aggravated assault. Big city, small town.
Angeline, you go first, because I do remember you posting this on our feed.
I didn't tell you which one it was either, did I?
I'll go big city.
Pretty sure you did.
Did I?
Okay, I'm going little town.
Dave's going little. Angeline's going big. John?
I got a record on the line.
Yeah,
here.
you got a streak to uphold, man.
I want to go big because it sounds like that's something that would happen like in an apartment building in the big city.
Yeah.
You know, some outbreak like that, but I feel like you want to throw a curveball right now. You know, do your traditional Charlie thing. You know, how much would you pay to do this type thing? Like I'm feeling a curveball, so I'm going little.
Good job. You are still
Yes.
3 for 3.
4 for 4
4
now.
for 4. 4 for 4. We're on 4.
Yes.
Edumacation.
Nice
We
work.
count on this show.
Good job. All right, here's the next one.
Count on each other.
Yeah.
A resident called to report that that a neighbor was continually pushing snow in front of his driveway to directly in front of their home. So one neighbor is pushing snow from his driveway directly in front of the other people's home. Officers made contact with
I'm
the
sensing some
complainant,
passive aggressive
and the
behavior.
snowman an agreement was come forth that he would no longer push the snow from his residence in front of his neighbor's residence. Big city, small town.
I'm going small town.
Small town?
Yep.
Okay. Dave?
Mm.
Angeline? Big city, small town.
Well, if the
Neighbor
residents
pushing-
are that close,
This
I'll go
this
big city.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm going small town again. This.
It's a curveball. Don't curveball.
John, you're
me.
5 for 5.
Oh.
See, I thought that one would be a given that it was a small town, but I'm glad I guess for a little stuff.
No, but no. Angeline had a good point. The proximity that could
True.
very well be.
for all you know, it was
Big
probably
city.
some redneck in the country. He probably was pushing like his truck plow.
It's like a mile down the
His
road.
neighbor's like, we can't get out of our driveway.
That was my gone done stratagem there. Was how close the houses gone done were.
Here's a quick one.
Well, gone darn it,
Someone-
you got it.
Someone stole a snowblower from a church.
Hey, are you laughing because I suck at this game?
No,
Is that
because of your
the,
face?
the stare that you're
Like-
giving at him is just perfect.
The blank stare of like, what?
Charlie, we need to have the camera on her more.
It's on her. You guys don't see it as much, but it we're waiting on the other camera, so she gets the actual webcam.
All right.
Yeah. So here's the next one. Someone stole a snowblower from a church. Big city, small town. I thought it was funny. Someone stole a snowblower from a church. Who does that, really?
I'm going big city just because in the last like 3 little towns.
Yeah.
In churches in little towns, I can't picture them having snowblowers, so I'll go big city.
You getting 3 big cities here.
And
Charlie's face, dude.
drum roll.
His poker face, man. It's legit. Like, freaking face made out of granite. I can't tell.
Don't mess this up.
Dude, come on.
What's your guess?
He already guessed.
Yeah, I
was-
think all 3 of us are going big city.
Oh, all 3 are going big?
Yeah.
All big.
It was indeed very small little town.
It was a good run, John. It was a
Good
good
run.
run.
All right, you got time for a couple more?
I'm not doing the show anymore. I'm taking my mic and going home.
Hey, wait, that's my mic.
Screw you guys. I'm going home.
It's a $100 microphone. Wait, come back.
I'm taking the whole stand too.
Oh, 2 more.
2 more?
2 more.
I got 2 more. Okay, officers responded to another juvenile problems. A 17-year-old know-it-all who was being disrespectful towards his parents, or towards her parents. This is a female, towards her parents. This all started over a mother asking the 17-year-old to pick up her clothes. Ugh, how dreadful and tasking. Know-it-all continued to produce an attitude towards officers and was unwilling to talk things out. Officers cleared without taking any action since no criminal offenses had occurred.
Why would you call the cops if your daughter's just not going to pick up her clothes? Little
Poor
town.
parenting skills.
Little town.
Would you dial 911 after eating a bag of gummy bears?
Yes.
Wait, what'd you say, John? You said little?
No, I didn't say
Oh.
yet.
I
didn't
said
say yet.
little.
You said little? Angeline said little. Dave, John? Dane, what do you think? Lauren? Big or little?
I'm going big. This sounds like spoiled rich kid to me.
So she got asked to pick up her clothes. She freaked out, and the mom called the cops.
Yes. Bratty, 17-year-old
Probably
girl.
50 Cent's daughter.
Okay.
It wasn't Jaden.
It wasn't Jaden.
Jaden Smith.
Of course, he looks like a girl, but he is indeed not. As far
All right,
as I
let's
know.
do it,
No,
dude. Big city.
So we got little, big.
Little
Yeah.
big.
It is indeed little.
I actually got one that you guys didn't.
Oh, I feel like John McClane walking on glass barefoot right now.
All right, I got one more.
This kills me.
You've got. Don't worry. You've got 4 more sequels to get worse.
Watch your mouth. That's blasphemy. I know
Okay.
the last one was kind of wishy-washy, but
I hope you guys didn't hear about this one. But it says, we need your help in finding the suspect who used a skateboard as a getaway vehicle after a heist from a super target at blank city mall. Right at closing time, Wednesday night, he made off with a 32-inch LCD TV and is seen in the video skating around the store with it and then fleeing the scene on his skateboard. He's a white male in his 20s, about 5 feet 11 inches tall, 150 pounds. He was wearing dark jeans, a black hoodie, green Nike shoes. The getaway vehicle was brown in color and had orange yellow wheels. Anyone who knows who this suspect is should call us at phone number listed. Big city, small town.
I'm going small town.
I'll go big city. Do little towns have super targets?
Well,
But
some little towns could have super targets, so don't let that be a factor.
We've
Read
never
that- read
actually
that
we've
again.
never actually defined what little town
We kind of
is.
did.
We did, we did.
When did we do that?
like, okay, we're based out of Orem in Utah. That is a small town.
Small town.
Oh, it is?
Provo is small town.
Yeah,
Oh.
so
Salt
they got
Lake.
Yeah, we got a
Something
target.
like Salt Lake.
Medium city.
No, that's a big city. I know you think
Oh.
New York, and that's legit, but like, I was so.
Yep, small town. I'm going small town.
Well,
This
yeah, I'm gonna. No wonder why I've been doing so bad.
Well, apparently you didn't listen to the last episode.
No, I did, but I just thought you can. For some reason, I got mixed
San
up.
Francisco, big city. Las
Yeah.
Vegas, big city. Reno, big city.
Big, yeah.
Okay, I'll go little then.
Tulsa,
with this one.
Oklahoma, big city. Everything outside of that, small
Little
town.
town.
Jacksonville, Florida, big city.
Okay, so what are we going? Angeline, Little, Dave?
little.
Can you read the part where
Yeah,
it
yeah, you
says
wanna-
blank city again?
Well, we need your help finding a suspect who used a skateboard as a getaway vehicle after a heist from Super Target at Blank City Mall.
Okay, there. Okay, that's where it gets me. I'm going big city. What's the name of that outdoor mall in Minneapolis?
Look at you,
Mall
John.
City.
Actually,
Mall
actually-
City.
Actually trying to locate.
Mall City, USA. I'm going big city.
You're going Big City? This is indeed Big City.
All right.
Yes. Boom. Where was it?
I can't remember. Not the one you're thinking of, but it was Big City. It's a pretty funny one. You should see the video. In fact, I should pull it up for you guys. But it this kid
Actually, yeah. The
seriously is riding around Walmart or Super Target on a skateboard, and he grabs a TV and skates off. The security guard's running after him, but he just can't keep up. This kid's just bolting down the street on his skateboard. Pretty funny. I didn't know if you'd heard about that one, but
a 32-inch. Man, I would not want to carry that on my skateboard.
You'd need another skateboard.
the
to
32
put
inch
that
isn't too
on.
bad. He had it like by one hand, like with a handle or something on it.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you figure this is a 22 inch. That one's 22. The 32 is not too much bigger, and they're so light nowadays too. You know, the old CRT I used to have down here, that was a 32 inch. There's no way 3 people were carrying that thing out. those new 32 inches, you could.
Dude, I remember we got like I can't remember. It was a big screen in its day. Back in high school.
32
Me
inch
and
used
my
to be
buddies.
huge.
Now
Now it's nothing.
It
Yeah.
could have been that. I think it was probably in the 40s to 50.
Sure.
But it was during it was like we got it in like 2001, 2002. So it was a 90s TV, like 10 years old. And you had to go down we were trying to get it downstairs. You had to go down the stairs, and then there was a landing, and then there was the rest of the stairs to the basement.
Yeah.
Dude, we had to like take it apart, take pieces out, carry it down. Like it was the biggest hassle to get that thing in there. And then on top of that, when it played, there was in the bottom left corner there was a dark spot. And so it was, man, yeah, TVs have come a long way.
Yeah, they really have.
Yeah. All right.
I'm not gonna lie, I
was
I
that the
can't remember
last
how
one?
I did last time, but I'm gonna say I won 2 for 2. I did pretty good tonight.
You did really, really well.
Yeah. What do we do? Like 10? 10 questions?
No, I think we did
11?
like 8. I think we had 8 questions.
Is that what about? Let me count here. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did have 8. 8 is 8 about right?
Yeah, because I
So-
think I went 6 for 8.
Yeah, you were 6 for 8.
Because I missed 2 right there
Mhm.
at the end. Freaking hay.
What does the winner get besides a big head? I'm just kidding. No, I'll make you cookies.
Yes.
I want cookies.
Okay, I'll make cookies for
All
next
right.
Saturday.
I won't be here next Saturday.
Oh, okay. I'll make sure to make cookies when you
Dave,
come
did you
too.
win?
No, I did not win. I'm just trying to get cookies. I'm trying to get the second place.
All right, so there you go. There it is. Charlie presents Little City, Big City, or Big City, Little City.
I love.
Uh,
I can't keep the title straight.
I know.
Is
Big
it-
city, little town.
Is it? Yeah.
Little
is
town,
it
big city.
It
we could
changes
big
call it-
city, little
We
city?
could call it big town, little city. Big village, little city.
That's what we should do.
Oh, Big Trouble in
You
Little
should take it
China.
a step further and go say, did this happen in a condo or a townhome?
We could get really racially.
Trailer park, trailer
politically
park, trailer
incorrect.
park.
Yeah, trailer park. Bring that one in.
Trailer park. Trailer park or upscale neighborhood.
Yay! Dude, look at that. The sequel.
Oh, fantastic.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. We want to hear how you guys did playing big town, little town, big city, little city, whatever you want to call it. We want to hear how well you guys did.
And if
Hit us
anybody
up
can
on-
give us some intro for it too, that'd be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or an official title.
Or-
for that matter.
that we could all get straight.
Hit us up on Facebook or text a show. We want to hear how you guys did. And again, thanks for playing. Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and feature some video game news. Dave, you've been keeping your ear to the ground on some major titles coming out.
Always.
Last week we featured some major comic book news. Lauren gave us some major comic book news on what was coming out. This week, Dave, why don't you tell us about some of the major titles coming out for the new consoles? And some of these will still be for past consoles such as Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3.
Yeah. There's a few of these that are still coming out.
But most of them have the new consoles in mind.
in them. Yeah. A lot of these. So these are the movies games that I am keeping an eye on in 2014, and most of them are major titles with a few I just think they're cool thrown in here. So
Well, and if you think they're cool, then the listeners are totally gonna think they're cool, right? Because what you say on here is gospel.
I hope so. I'd like to think so. I doubt it because according to Motorcycle Matt, no one even listens to me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I want to kick it off though with this question. One of the ones you have on here is Titanfall.
Yes.
Why is this? Because this is actually gaining a lot of
Yeah.
notarization, and it's getting a lot of publicity. Why?
Everyone who has played it has absolutely loved it. Like, I have not read a single preview from anyone who has said, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, most games when they come out, there is that initial buzz, but there's still a few who are either going to be really for it or really against it. And this one, nobody seems to be against it. No one has who has played it has said, you know, it's not that great, it sucks, or it's mediocre, overhyped. And I think that is why it is building a lot of hype. Also, the pedigree to it, I think, also adds a lot to the hype. It's being done by Respawn Entertainment, who was founded by the two guys who founded Infinity Ward, who most know as the Call of Duty, the original Call of Duty developers before Activision split it off into Infinity Ward. And
So the pedigree's good. The hype behind it is real. Why should people gravitate towards this game? What are they going to be doing?
what they're going to be doing is this is a online-only multiplayer competitive first-person shooter that features mechs. So basically, the simplest way to put it is Call of Duty meets Mech Assault. So you are on this planet.
Or like robots.
Yeah. So what happens is you are a pilot of these Titans, which is what they're called, and during the match, at a specific time, you will have a Titan sent down to you. Or actually, Charlie, can we bring up the video that I've got linked there for the gameplay? You are fighting around as a pilot. The cool thing about these pilots is that they have a jetpack. So one thing that differentiates it from Call of Duty is this vertical movement. So because of the jetpacks, you're actually able to run along walls. You're able to get up to
Yeah, I've seen
higher
that.
higher parts of the building,
What's this one called?
Titanfall.
Oh, this Titanfall. Okay.
Yeah, so it's about middle. Yeah, it's the one with the most links. Which, yeah, that alone should tell you.
Well, one thing that
I'm excited.
I was watching some gameplay on this, and as I was watching, I noticed like when you call down the Titan
Yeah,
when you need it, and so the guy was like running on the roof. He wasn't in the Titan,
mm-hmm.
and he needed it, and so he called it, and he like jumped off the roof, and the Titan came and got him. Like, in midair.
Yeah, grabbed him.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
midair.
Yeah, there are cool things like that. So the way, from my understanding, the way the match works is, the match will start and you're a pilot. So you're going around and you're getting kills, and your Titan will be ready in a set amount of time. And then as you do well in the game, as you get kill streaks, that reduces the time it takes for your Titanfall to be ready.
Oh, really?
So
So it's not like you can just get it.
no.
You have to earn it.
No. Well, you can earn it faster. Like
Okay.
it'll always come. It'll always take like a minute or so to be ready. But if you're earning kills, that reduces the time.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And then the Titan will fall down. You can jump into it, and then you control this. 20-foot. Well, it's probably not 20-foot, but this giant robot that then has its own weapons, its own set of abilities. That is fast. They're not these slow hulking machines. They are really quick, really cool. You can exit it at any time, and then it will follow you. So it can then be
Yeah, I like
another
that aspect of it.
computer-controlled player. But it also has its own set of weaknesses. So the pilots are quick and they're nimble, and they have those jetpacks, so they can actually jump on top of a Titan, rip out this back panel, and just start blowing the brain out of it. And it just, I don't know. When this first got announced at E3, when they said online multiplayer shooter, that turned me off because I suck at Call of Duty.
What about Halo?
Halo, I fare a little bit better, but I'm just, when it comes to competitive multiplayer, that's not where my skill set is in games. But this just looks fun.
Yeah.
There is something about it that just looks and well, I can't say feels different because I haven't actually played it, but that's what those who have played it have said. It's fast, it's fluid. You're always doing something.
That's good.
And it feels perfect. And the weapon set is futuristic tech. You've got a pistol that you could paint 5 targets with, and then launch a single shot kill.
Huh.
That is if you can get the 5. You don't
Yeah,
die
sure.
between the 5 targets. And so this looks like, because it's an Xbox One exclusive and 360, a lot of people are arguing that this could be the killer app for the Xbox One. And from what I've been hearing in certain groups that I follow, a lot of people are waiting for this game to come out to buy the system.
Oh, really?
And so this could be what Gears of War was to the 360 when that came out.
Now we've discussed Charlie's history of gaming, that it was mostly Call of Duty.
I'm a social gamer.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And you did Call of Duty. You played
I played with
GarageBand.
mostly because I got GarageBand, which is a social game, just not like online social.
Sure.
And I got into like GarageBand was a lot of fun, or Rock Band and Garage. Is it GarageBand?
No, sorry,
Guitar
GarageBand. Yeah, Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
GarageBand is the app for
on
Apple.
Rock Band, Guitar Hero.
I really
Garage
I really got into those because of my friends were playing them, either coworkers or you guys.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
But I was going to ask Angeline what her history in gaming was. Did you play any Call of Duties with Charlie, or did you do any?
I was a
did you
big
play
Halo fan.
I knew it. I could smell Halo across the table.
Yeah, and I would have been a big Call of Duty fan had I had the time to play it, but like once we had kids, it's like sleep was a little bit more important to me.
Call of Duty does also feel like it is. You have to be willing to put in the time
Yeah.
to get those unlocks and whatnot.
You
to
kind of
actually-
do.
Yeah.
The nice thing, I always play it with like private groups,
Yeah.
with private group of friends, which unlocks all the weapons and attachments automatically.
Mhm.
So I do appreciate that. But I knew you'd like Halo.
Yeah,
I could tell.
I loved Halo. So, and I was a big Tenchu fan when that was on PlayStation.
We
And-
should talk about Thief then if
No
we're
kidding.
going stealth.
Well,
Yeah.
you do have Thief on here, and you also have Halo 5. Let's jump into Halo 5
Okay.
since that's come up.
And Halo 5 is a little bit of a cheat on this list because the only thing we know about it is that it exists and that Microsoft has said it is coming out in the fall. That is it. There was the teaser trailer at E3, which has Hobo Master Chief walking through the desert in a poncho for some reason that,
Right.
because when you have, the best suit of armor in space, you need a poncho to protect yourself from sand.
Dude, he was trying to go all Aragorn on everybody.
Apparently, the
You
lonesome.
didn't want to be recognized.
The lonesome traveler. And
Do you think
and-
they will discuss how he eats? Does he take the mask off to eat in this game?
that is probably discussed in the novels.
It's gotta be.
And in the expanded fiction. He does. I do know from reading a couple of the books that he rarely gets out of
Does
that
take it
armor.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like, whiter than me, which makes me feel good that there is someone exists who is whiter than me.
Somewhere out there.
Somewhere out there.
Some say anyway.
Hey, look at that.
That's next week's intro.
So let me ask you this though: do you have high expectations for Halo 5?
I do because Halo 4 is my favorite in the Halo games.
Okay.
It had a lot to prove because it was the first Halo game not done by Bungie. They went off to go do another game, which is here on the list, which we'll talk about here in a minute.
Which game was that?
Destiny.
I'm just.
And so it had a lot to prove, and I feel like they pulled it off. I liked the shift in tone. What they did with the engine in that game was incredible.
Have you heard anything about Halo 5 and the Halo TV series that they're producing? Are they going to intertwine? Have you heard anything about
They
that?
haven't outright said anything specifically whether they are going to intertwine. In fact, the only thing they've really said about the Halo TV series is that it's not going to be filler, which isn't saying much at all. So that is still a big
Anything more than what they've done will be good.
Yeah, that's still a big question mark. And
All right, let's jump back up to Thief. You mentioned Thief.
Yep.
So if Angeline liked Tenchu, which was
if-
awesome.
Yeah, if Angeline liked Tenchu and doesn't mind playing a stealth game in a first-person perspective, then you might want to check out Thief. It is the
I have an issue with that.
yes.
Why, dude? Why does it need to be first person?
Because the original was in first
But
person.
it's being re-embooted.
It is being re-embooted
If it's being re-embooted, let's re-emboot it right.
by alienating
Let me
all
a-
the fans.
Let me ask you this: Do you enjoy playing Splinter Cell?
I do enjoy playing Splinter Cell.
You have in your description here.
Don't
You have
Splin-
Thief.
Splin- Splinter Cell?
Dude, let it go.
Throwback.
Let's say so here in your notes you have Thief, the granddaddy of first person stealth. Oh, you did put first person.
I did specify first person stealth.
Did you do that on purpose because you knew I was going to attack it?
Not with Splinter Cell, because the granddaddy of third person stealth would actually be Metal Gear, which did it
Okay, fair enough.
on the NES.
But let me ask you this: so it's just going to be. I see it being really difficult to play a stealth game first person
Mm-hmm.
because you got to look around corners. You got to be aware of your surroundings. and it's easier to do that in third person, where you can see your character.
Yeah, it is easier to do that, but you get the immersion argument there. Because if you were to actually do a stealth mission, you can't see behind your shoulder, without pulling a exorcist and, spinning your head around. And that would be really
You
cool.
can get anything for a price. Dude.
Yeah. Just sell your soul. That works. But I really enjoyed Dishonored. Did you try that out? I can't
Yeah, I did.
remember.
I did.
So I think you can do a first person stealth. I do think with this game, as cool as it looks, as excited as I am, and I do have it pre-ordered, the fact that his hands are always on screen bothers me a bit, because nobody walks around like this who's not in a body cast. But it's that's a nitpick.
It's something you'll probably get used to, and then after playing it for 50 hours, you'll be like, I want every game to have their hands out like that.
And fortunately for Thief, you don't have to wait very long to enjoy it. That is slated for February 25th.
Yeah.
Alongside another 2 more games that I have on here that I'm really excited about. I wouldn't say that they're probably the biggest games of the year, but they're definitely ones that are interesting. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. I put that on here because
Well, that's my kind of game, Dave.
you are taking a tower defense game, a really good tower defense game, and turning it into a multiplayer third-person shooter. And from what I've seen of this, it seems like they are actually doing a good job by kind of melding the multiplayer third-person shooter mechanics with Plants vs. Zombies sense of humor. And I see this as something that if I can get my daughter used to a third-person shooter, which we're still a little ways off. We're still
Third person or first person?
Third person. This is third person, and we're still working on getting the control scheme to Lego Marvel superheroes down. So
there you go.
It's still going to be a little while.
Hey, at least you're starting them young, dude.
Yeah.
Priorities.
Oh, and I do need to get an extra controller because I do have it on the one.
Good thing you said that on the show, because now it's recorded, and it's always going to be here, so you can always refer back. Like when you're driving home and you're like, "Dang, I knew I remembered something during the show. What is it?" Well, come back and listen to this episode.
Buy another controller so I can play Plants vs. Zombies with my daughter. And again, with Titanfall, this just looks fun to me, and as I watch it, it looks like something I want to play, even though, again, I'm not a big multiplayer-only fan. I buy a game for the single-player campaign, and then I will play multiplayer with, with you and Dane and Charlie, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Games like this actually make me want to kind of expand out.
I'm watching the gameplay footage right now, and it's interesting. Like, you're laying down cactuses at the bottom of footsteps to guard your area. It looks like you're shooting out different kind of plants.
Yeah,
and stuff.
this particular video that you're watching is one of the game modes, and I can't remember what it is called, but this is kind of like more of a horde mode, where you are setting down defenses.
They just keep coming.
Yeah.
Over and over. Okay.
There's another game mode called Gardens and Graveyards, which is a team of plants versus a team of zombies it's like rush mode in Battlefield, where you're trying to control certain points on a map. And it's supposed to be highly customizable. It's class-based. So like the sunflower is the healer class, and the cactus is the sniper class, and on the zombie side, you've got the engineer who can build turrets and little bots, the scientist who can teleport and heal, and it's just got this bizarre sense of humor. And another cool thing is on the Xbox One, they have a mode called Boss Mode, where on your tablet you can play as the head zombie, and I believe it's going to be in the co-op
Really?
mode, control the zombie horde and figure out what units to send out and whatnot.
Now, is this split screen?
That I don't know. I haven't been able to find whether or not it. I hope it is, because this does look like it would make for a really good couch co-op. But that's kind of
Because
not
if
been
it's
the trend
if
lately.
it's split screen, that'd be kind of fun. You could almost see it become kind of a party game
Yeah.
where, at least two people could be playing at a party event,
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
like what the Wii was meant for.
Yep.
That type of thing. You could see that same thing, and even if you have a tablet involved, you can get at least another person involved, being the zombie boss.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping that it is, and also, it's coming at a pretty good price. Like the Xbox One version is $40, and the 360 version is $30. And I think that's a smart move.
Well, know your
to
role,
sell it.
I guess. Know your role,
Yeah.
and that's good that they know that they know they don't expect you to pay a full $60 for something like
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, and I think that's really smart. It was originally going to come out February 18th, I think, and then it got pushed back to the 25th. So you can experience it that on Xbox One and 360. The next game also coming out on the 25th is Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2.
This game has a huge pedigree as well, right?
Yes, it does, going all the way back to the NES of the Castlevania series.
And I'm seeing here that it's only on 360 and PS3.
Yep,
It's
is.
not going to be released for the PS4 or the Xbox One.
Nope, it is current gen only.
Why is that?
I believe the developers just have they
They
come
didn't
out
want
and
to put in
said
the extra
why?
work.
Pretty much.
All right, fair enough.
Because that's kind of the difficult thing at the tail end of a generation cycle is, do you go with the tech that you already know and you know really well, or do you experiment with tech that is still fairly new?
But these guys have got to have something in their back pocket for new console, right?
I hope so.
Because with how many games these guys pump out and how, you spend a lot of time talking about past games, the history and the pedigrees of
Mhm.
games. I mean, this is a well-established.
This
franchise.
is a well-established franchise, but the interesting thing is that Mercury Steam, the particular developers of the Lords of Shadow, which is basically their version, their re-imbooting of Castlevania. This is the last game in the series.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, they set out with a particular story to tell, and this is the last chapter in it. So it will be interesting to see how they're going to go with that, and also see how this plays out.
And it says here in this game, you're going to play as Dracula.
Yep.
In both past and present.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You will control Dracula this time.
Have you, and now in the other games, have you been playing against Dracula? I haven't followed. I know it's a well-established franchise, and I
Yeah.
know you're a fan.
And
I've heard you talk about it, but I've never played them.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
Does this follow what's happened?
This is
Before
a direct result of Lords of Shadow, which came out on the 360 and the PS3, and then also a
Right.
continuation of Mirror of Fate, which was the 3DS game, which has also just barely been released as an HD version on 360 and PS3.
So you can download that.
yeah,
So it's
yeah.
downloadable content. So
Mhm.
that would be considered a DLC.
No, because it is an actual game and you don't buy it through. But
I'm just kidding, dude.
if you did miss Lords of Shadow, there is a collected edition of it that has Lords of Shadow, all the DLC that came out with it, and Mirror of Fate included. So if you did miss it, I would recommend getting that, because it Lords of Shadow was a really cool game and a really cool take on the Castlevania series by kind of reimagining it as a little bit more fantasy mixed with the
Well, if this is the
vampire
last
horror
one, all on disc, and you could play it like on your 360 or your X1.
That I actually would like to see. If a next gen version of that where you do kind of collect it. Except, well, then I'd have to buy another edition. But there is a demo of this. If you do buy Mirror of Fate, you can download the demo
cool.
to Lords of Shadow 2. I played it. I was really impressed with it. Really liked it. Really excited to see where this series go.
Now you have on this list, you have about 15 to 20 games, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna split this up because you got a lot of info right here,
I know.
and so I think that's a good spot to stop, and we'll split this up. And
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
next couple shows, we'll go over some games over the next period of time to let people know what's coming out, when it's coming out. I see there's tons of games here coming out in March. You have some on the 4th, on the 11th, and
Yep. One on the 21st.
yeah.
And then we got one clear in September, and then the rest that are on my list don't have a nailed down release date.
But they're
So
slated for 2014.
They are slated for 2014.
So this is going to be a huge year.
Yes, I would actually say I'm super excited for E3 this year because the next gen is out.
Yeah.
This is when we're going to start to see what next gen games can do.
That's a good point because it kind of seemed like for the last year and a half everything's been wishy-washy.
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
They didn't know if Xbox or if Microsoft and Sony were going to put something out, and so
Mhm.
nobody was quite sure. So I hear you on that. That's yeah.
Yeah.
E3 is going to be
So,
exciting.
yeah, it's going to be exciting, and then next E3 will be even more exciting because then everyone's really gotten their feet wet
It's
into the next
established.
gen, and yeah, so it's a good time to be a gamer, man.
Well, I was just going to
So-
say, so when somebody who's not established in gaming and wants to get back into it, when is a good time? Now, a year from now?
It depends. I would actually say it really depends on your tastes. I actually if you're brand new and you just want to get into gaming, probably this Christmas is going to be a good time because all these games are going to be out. It gives the new consoles time to put in their first little tweaks
Fair enough.
to the system. For example, if someone were to ask me, I just got an Xbox One about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I love it, but if someone were to come up and say, "Hey, should I get it? I'm looking to maybe get a new console. Should I get one now?" I would actually say, "Oh, wait a little bit."
Okay.
Unless you're the hardcore gamer who wants just the latest system now. These systems are great, and they have a lot of potential in them. And so if you wait a little while, some of that potential is going to be realized a little bit more. Some of the hardware bugs are going to be worked out. So if you're just looking to get in, see what happens Christmas.
Okay.
Hopefully, hey, we might even see maybe some. There's speculation that price reductions will happen sooner in this generation than they did last time. So yeah, it's an exciting time. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking over your list, and I'm seeing a lot of games that I've heard about, I've looked into, I've read about, and there's some on here that we've talked about in past episodes. I'm excited for future episodes to discuss those games with you because a lot of new information's come out about them. So be sure to stay tuned for future episodes with Video Game Talk with Dave.
I was actually going to see if I could sneak in one
more?
yeah, one more.
Kill it, dude.
All right.
I can't say no to your face.
Oh, okay. I love it. I'll have to take advantage of that more.
Then I will have to.
I'm gonna try and take that mile. I got that inch. No, a game I'd actually really. The reason why I want to talk to it now is because it's fresh in my mind, and it's also just recently announced is Evolve, which was just announced a couple of weeks ago. It's the cover story to the latest Game Informer.
Okay. Is it Alien?
It is sci-fi based.
Okay.
So there was, a little game that came out last generation that we were, kind of fans of, called Left 4 Dead. Which, that is total sarcasm. I absolutely loved that game, and Dane and I spent a lot of hours playing it.
I never did.
That's because
I couldn't get into it.
Yeah.
I noticed that you make the Left 4 Dead hand signal all the time.
I talk with my hands, okay? It's just I don't know.
This isn't the first time I noticed it.
No,
but I've
yeah,
noticed.
anyway. I'm very dramatic with my hand gestures and whatnot. But this is being developed by Turtle Rock Studios, who were the original developers for Left 4 Dead, which was a big hit in the last generation. It was 4-player co-op multiplayer, where, again, I'm describing Left 4 Dead because this helps describe Evolve. You played 4 survivors in the zombie apocalypse. You would play on one map with your buddies to get to point A to point B and survive, a huge mass of zombies.
Yeah.
And it was meant to be played in like an hour and a half. You'd go through the entire level, and then if you wanted to play some more, you played another level. And that worked. Dane and I we wasted a ton of hours, playing this game. On 4, the game came with 4 maps, 4 characters, and 4 zombies, and it was perfect. This game builds on that. Only this time it's a sci-fi where you are on this planet called Sheer that has been a outpost for the last 50 years, and due to colonization and wildlife, colonies will employ these hunters to help control the wildlife. On this planet, these new breeds of monsters have started to show up and to terrorize the colonies. So 4 of the players will play as these hunters. They work cooperatively against the monster, who is actually played by the 5th player. So it is a 4 versus 1 boss match where the hunters are trying to work together to trap and kill to kill the monster, while the monster is trying to avoid being captured, killing and eating wildlife and the hunters so that it can evolve into the next stage. So each creature will come with 3 stages of evolution in which they will get bigger, get different abilities, and deal more damage. The monster that the cover story talks about is this creature called the Goliath, who in his first form, he's about 9 feet tall. I think they said kind of looks like a weird cross between an ape, reptile, and a xenomorph. And in its second phase, it gets bigger. By the end, if the hunters don't kill it by the time it reaches its 3rd phase, it will be a 30-foot, fire-breathing, rock-throwing monster. Essentially, if you played Left 4 Dead,
so you get to play as that guy.
Yes, yeah. One player gets to play as this character and tries to.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and there will be wildlife that can either help the monster or the hunters, or hinder them. There is a lot of cooperation that has to be done. It'll be class-based, so there's the assault class, the trapper class, the medic class, support class, and then within those classes there will be multiple characters with multiple loadouts. Game Informer got a chance to. They're the only ones who have had their hands on it so far, and they said that it feels really, really balanced. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of strategy.
That's what you want.
Yeah, and so this is definitely a game to
there you go. That's
keep an eye on.
That's a good party game right there.
Yeah, and it does look like it follows that same formula where if you've
move
got
over Mario Kart.
Yeah, if you've got an hour and a half, to kill some buddies, this looks to be the one to pop in, and it is next gen only, so it'll be coming out on Xbox One and PS4. It is slated for this fall, which is why it makes this list. But I am certainly intrigued. it has quickly kind of launched up there as one of my most anticipated. The rest we'll talk about next time. But yeah, Evolve by Turtle Rock Studios. Definitely one to keep an eye on.
That game sounds like a lot of fun. I think I could get into that one.
Yeah.
Left 4 Dead kind of seemed like it just wasn't my cup of tea, but I think I could get into this one.
Yeah, this one definitely
have,
sounds like it's going to take what Left 4 Dead did at its very base level and then just expand it
Excellent.
exponentially. So
They should because of the console that it'll be on.
yeah.
All right, so there you go. Stay tuned. If you have any questions on video game news, maybe some other games that are coming out, be sure to hit us up. We'll pass them along to Dave. And stay tuned for future episodes to find out what other games are going to be coming out this year. Let's go ahead and move on to our famous segment, Hey, Let's Gripe About This. Sounds a little different this week.
It is a little different. There you go.
Remix.
That's better.
You guys got some gripes this week?
Yeah, I do. I've been writing them down faithfully. If I don't, I forget them.
All right, Charlie, kick us off.
You want me to kick it off?
Yeah.
All right. So I put them here on my iPhone. So, as usual, I still my gripes. This one actually happened to me this week, and it really irritates me. Whenever I go to get gas, lately especially, I don't know what it is. I hate when the gas pumps shut off, right? It's cold outside. I don't want to sit out in the cold. I stick the nozzle in. It pumps fine for a couple of gallons. So I hop back in the car. As soon as I get back in the car, you hear that click, and it stops pumping again. I got a couple dollars in there. I know I've got a long ways to go, so I got to jump back out, stick it in there, let the gas start flowing. It's going fine. All of a sudden, for no reason, after I get back in the car, it'll stop. Maybe it's me jiggling around,
So you're saying this is also a premature stoppage?
It's premature stoppage of the gasoline flowing.
Yeah, gotta hate that premature stoppage.
I really do. It's irritating, Dave. I happened the other night. And
I don't have that issue. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I know, I haven't either. Now getting it started, that's a whole other story.
I find good healthy pumps at my gas stations.
That's what you do, huh?
You gotta find the right age of pump.
Is that what it
Yeah.
is? Yeah. So.
Well, and does prepay and postpay make a difference too?
Yes, it does. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So the other night I was filling up and it was cold and I wanted to get home and yeah, it stopped and I didn't realize it had stopped and I couldn't continue to pump gas because it shut off. Like I said, need to contact the salesperson and I knew it wasn't because my car was bad. It was because I had sat there too long while the pump had been off and it thought I was finished after I put $1.30 of gas in there. And I tried to let the pump reset, and it wasn't resetting. And I'm like, I'm not walking all over to talk to the gas attendant. So I just left, went to another gas station whose pumps worked just fine. So, they're bad. It's not cheap to fill up a tank of gas these days. So
No.
Now, quick question:
yeah.
Is your tank on your side or is it on the passenger side?
luckily on this particular car, it was on my side, so I didn't have to walk
that's
around.
the worst, man.
That is the
You have
worst.
to walk around.
That would have been a lot worse off.
I mean, because your one vehicle, you had the car, but then your other one is like a mini version of a limo.
Yes.
And so that's a long ways to walk around, like 3 times, 4 times.
All right, here's my second gripe.
Which would bring another gripe. I hate how long my vehicle is.
Yeah. And how short the gas hose is.
All right, so you got more.
My problem now is that I hate school drop-off zones. I drop my little girl off to school.
Yes. Deja vu, dude.
Oh, it's a war zone.
Angeline just sat up in the chair. This is her territory.
It's a war zone. These school drop-off zones are terrible. Every day
Oh, man.
I get more frustrated dropping my kid off at school.
Morons. They're all morons.
They absolutely are. I mean, I think it's great that you want to watch your kid walk all the way from the half a mile from where you dropped him off to the front door of the school and go in until you can't see him, and then wait another 10 minutes to make sure he doesn't come back out. But maybe get out of the way or something, And the way that they change the drop-off zones at the school, it's impossible to if you pull behind somebody to get back out. I don't know.
Would you like to see the
irritates me.
school build like towers where people could go stand on?
I think the school needs to be more like the airport. Like if you're there longer than 30 seconds, like jumping out, hopping into the airport,
Hey.
there's like guns drawn, like getting you out of there.
They need to hire me. I will do that for them.
Okay, I heard somebody the other night. As a matter of fact, last night, as we were it was last night as we were watching Jack Reacher Ryan, and
Jack Reacher Ryan.
yeah,
Reach around what?
Jack Reacher on Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Dark Tides.
Yeah,
The ne-
watching.
The next movie from Dead Horse Productions.
Right, yes. I forgot about Dead Horse Productions. That's
Yeah,
our
you
production
did.
company.
Somebody was walking up. We sat at the very back, as I usually do now, very back row.
Yes.
Actually, this particular theater was a knockoff. We sat in the second to back row. The back row had less leg room, so we sat in the second to back row. But the seats right behind us had like a cleared off area that no one could sit in because it had space for the projector. So you didn't stick your fingers up between in the middle.
Oh, okay, okay.
So we didn't have anybody behind us still. So essentially, it kind of was the back row. Anyway, somebody got to the top of the stairs with their popcorn and their soda, and they're like,
Wheezing?
"Man, walking up the stairs in the theater is a lot of work." They were like griping about that. Oh man, those stairs. I'm like, hey, seats in the front row. They're wide open. They're wide open. Wide open seats in the front row.
Were they the kind of
First
stairs
world
where you really
problems.
didn't make, 2 steps on one and then you can't really go
They-
1 foot, one. You got to go.
Yeah,
one foot on and
because they're
just
the
get right
odd
off.
lengths. And
They were
the-
just
Yeah.
normal
Yeah.
old stairs. Nothing too unique about them. They weren't too tall. Weren't too short. Weren't too, the tread wasn't real far. This, I don't know what the person's problem was, but I'm not going to judge. But that was their gripe. Stairs in the theater were just too dang tall, too dang long. That's what I've got for my gripes on this week's episode of Hey, Let's Gripe About This.
Oh, those are good.
Angeline, Dave, do you have any? Angeline?
I've got one.
Okay, rock it.
Dental assistants who do not know how to do
Oh.
their job. I don't need my freaking tongue sucked out of my mouth with a sucker. I don't need your mirror jabbed down my throat. I don't need my lips bruised or cut. Like, learn how to do your job. Like, she
Really?
seriously was, like, not paying attention at all. Gagged me I don't know how many times. Like, my tongue seriously got stuck in the sucker. Like, and I'm like...
Oh, can we get a soundbite of that? My tongue got stuck in the sucker.
Yeah, it was an
That-
awful experience.
Oh my goodness, that almost sounds like they just kind of snuck into the back and put on the uniform and.
I know. I don't think she went to school or something. And the dentist had to keep, like, telling her, like, you got to be more careful. I'm like, why? Why did I have to be the guinea pig today? At least she didn't give me the numbing shot. At
I was
least-
just gonna
Oh, that
say-
would have been.
I
Oh,
was just going to say.
Ugh.
that would have been.
I thought I went in the arm.
Is it safe?
Ugh.
Is it safe?
Ow! What does that make you think of there?
No.
Oh, man, no.
Makes me think of Gremlins
No
too.
way.
Actually,
Ugh.
Where do you find that soundbite,
He's
dude?
gonna tap out YouTube, man. Everything's on YouTube,
Oh boy.
courtesy of SoundTube HD.
Ugh.
Dave?
That's my gripe.
Dave, do you have any?
I don't know if I could follow that. I had a very much a first world gripe that I shared with you guys.
Well, let me
last
bring
week
it-
off the air. That now just sounds lame.
Well, hold on. Let me suck it up because those are legit. So let me suck it up so you can do yours.
Okay.
Okay. First world, I guess. When you get a bad massage, that always sucks.
Oh, that's terrible.
When you're like, all I need is a awesome massage, and then you get a massage, and you're just like, that didn't help.
So what constitutes the bad massages? And it was not relaxing, or they're like breaking your bones.
I would say because it's different for each person. I like mine deep, and I like to be able to feel a lot loose. I like it to be really, just in there,
Gotta keep it a family show.
grinding. And, I want to feel all loose and limber when I get done.
Uh-huh.
So
I don't think that's too much to ask. I think that's what everybody was looking for.
I'm not so much looking for, because if I get a nice relaxing one, it's just gonna put me to sleep. Most of the time, David, I want mine to be deep. Okay, it's the only way I know how to describe it.
No, it makes perfect sense. I am just trying not to take it in another direction. Anyway,
Even though I'm softballing it to you.
yeah, you are pitching it to me just perfectly, and I'm just choosing not to.
So you'd say I'm the pitcher.
You're the unfortunately, yeah.
Okay.
And I'm just like, nope. We're
How
yeah.
about when you have to wake
We're
up
not in
earlier
Vermont.
than usual, and you wake up way before you're supposed to, and you can't go back to sleep?
See, I have it where when I need to wake up, I can't go to sleep. If
that-
I have to wake up early, that is when I need a sleeping pill, which then I sleep past.
And then
yeah.
exactly.
And so
If I don't take a sleeping pill by 8 or 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to take one because we'll have a really hard time getting
yeah,
up.
I have so much anxiety when I have to wake up earlier than my normal routine that I won't even fall asleep.
That happened to me this morning, John.
Did it?
Little 1-year-old started crying extra early this morning, and I just couldn't go back to sleep for a while. It was tough.
Did you have to get up at a certain time?
Well, I didn't. My poor wife, she did. I slept in. That's the kind of guy I am.
No, my biggest peeve, I'm actually pretty sure I've already shared this, but I'm going to say it anyway, is waking up 1 minute before my alarm goes off.
Oh yeah, that's also one that's bad.
And then just, or I wake up 20 minutes late only to realize that my alarm is going off, but the volume is turned down. Yeah.
I like this. This is good. I like the intro. It sucks to be you, but then I like how it's
This
sad.
should, yeah, this
Okay,
would be the
I
the
got one to go.
outro.
I got one to go with this.
This is
Okay.
emotional music.
I don't always wear socks around the house, but when I do, I manage to find the only bit of water on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
That's the worst.
Yes.
That goes along
Because
with
it just soaks it right up.
Oh,
and there's,
yeah.
There's
goes-
just
that-
nothing you can do.
That goes along with
Stepping on
my soda
crumbs.
fountain gripe, where I hate when the next soda fountain next to my one where I'm getting a drink drips in my hand.
Yes.
See, I had this thing in the morning. Like sometimes I put my socks on before I go comb my hair, and I use a spray bottle to wet my hair, and then water will inevitably get on the floor, and then I walk in it on my socks, and then my socks are a little bit wet. So I have to remember to put my socks on after I do my hair, so that I don't get my socks wet, or put my socks and shoes on and then go do my hair. It's a major problem every morning.
No, I know.
And I always
Dude,
forget
these-
to put
these are-
I always forget to put my socks on
These are
anyway.
serious issues.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you because I understand the dilemma at hand.
It's a weird little thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then you wake up and you're annoyed that it's the morning already, and you know you got to get out the door pretty quick, and so you're like, I can do it today.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have this problem, but I'm going to act as you because I don't do my hair because I don't have to. I can't. God's forfeited me that problem. And so, but I'll act as you. So, I have to get up, and I think I can do it today. So I'll go out and I'll spray my hair, and I'll get my hair ready with my socks on. I can do it today. Like, you can accomplish that. You can overcome that obstacle.
I can, but I kind of jump like 3 feet back
Right.
from the area where I was getting my hair wet, so that when I jump over that water that might be on the floor right there, that'll get my socks wet.
Or you lean all the way over the sink.
I could do that too.
This isn't really one I'm just going to do this anyway, even though I probably shouldn't. Kat likes to go to sleep with her socks on, and then in the middle of the night, she kicks her socks off.
Really?
And magically, somehow, some way, they end up on my side of the bed. Which, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest here. The whole bed is her bed. I don't have a side of my bed.
Oh, yeah.
And so all her socks end up on my side of the bed.
I will say that I have a bigger side of my bed than my wife. You know,
For
ours
sure.
are actually reversed.
Really?
I get 3/4 of the bed.
Really?
Yeah. It's true.
I think with Kristen and I, it's pretty
It's
much
mind-blowing.
an ongoing battle throughout the night. Is we just, well, one side will claim it for a little while, then the other side will force the other one over. And
We do have our own blankets. So I sleep with my set of blankets, and she sleeps with the set
But
of
that's
blankets.
because you need more blankets, right?
I will steal
Because
the blankets otherwise.
Angeline likes it to be like Antarctica.
Yes.
And so you need. Do you have a heated blanket?
I do
He
now.
does. He has a heated blanket and a quilt.
nice.
Dude.
Who's the what? But ask how many times she's been camping in the snow.
Mind blown.
It has to be a controlled Arctic environment.
Yes. She doesn't want it authentic. She has to control it.
Well, it sucks to be wet. Like, who likes to sleep in wetness?
I
It feels
hate
like you
when
peed
it's
the bed.
moist when I sleep.
That's the worst.
I hate it when it's moist when I
Can't
wake
say
up.
the moist word.
You kids. You too.
Moist.
Oh man. Hey, I've
wants
I got
cake?
one more. I got one more gripe. Who wants cake?
I think of fungus, not cake.
I got one more. Okay, dude. It's already been a gripe before, but I have to go back and do it again. I hate reserved seating in movies.
You hate reserved seating?
Yes, I hate it because it allows people to be late.
Okay.
It allows you to have that mentality of I don't need to be there. The movie starts at
True.
1 o'clock. I can be there at 1 o'clock and still make my movie. And it's like, I hate it. Today we went and saw the Jack Ryan movie and we were late. And Kat knew I was upset because we were late. And I just hated it because I hate climbing over people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that is a bad.
The reason I hate that is because I hate people climbing over me.
Yep.
I don't want you climbing over me, especially if you're coming into the movie late.
Yeah.
You know, I got my
Valid.
popcorn, I got the soda and everything,
You sit back row?
and I'm like, yeah, right in the middle, dude.
Right in the middle back row.
And so
yeah.
I climbed over like 20 people.
And you got to walk up the aisle in front of people and everything.
Yeah.
Up the stairs.
Yeah.
That creates a little bit of a problem.
So here was my solution. As I was sitting there in my frustration, I thought, how can we solve this problem? What do they do on airplanes if you don't show up for your flight?
Give your seat away.
Absolutely.
Same thing in the conference center.
That's what they should do, man.
So
That's what they should do.
How do they?
You got to
how do
scan
they
in.
How do they determine the length of like? When do they give your seat away?
Dave, what time does the movie start?
But then you still have late arrivals.
Don't be late.
because the people who are waiting for someone to lose their seat are then coming in. So are you saying it like at the start of the previews?
Well, that's when the movie starts. That's like at 1 o'clock ish, you know, or 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That's when the movie starts. The movies count.
So
or
say
the previews count as
if-
part of the movie.
If you're not 10 minutes early
Yes.
for your seat, it will be forfeited.
Let's go with 10 minutes.
Okay.
I'm on leeway. This is still. I haven't thought this 100% all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, I was pretty frustrated when I came up with this concept, so I can't vouch 100%
Well, see,
for this.
I'm helping you out.
Yes, you're helping
I'm
me
helping
think
you
this
out.
That's nice. I
Yeah.
feel like this is some sort of reverse couples therapy.
Yeah. Because if there's a couple who needs therapy in here, it's you and me.
So
Not it's those two on that side of the table and not the two on this side of the table that need therapy. It's the two on that side of the
No,
table.
it is definitely. The show was almost
I like
founded
that.
on our conflicts.
that's right.
That's true. That's true.
Free as a bird. Brian just texted and said, "Reserved seating is the best thing to happen to movies, save for IMAX. Plus, movies don't even start on time."
I think
Well, maybe
I love reserve seating.
Dude, maybe he loves people climbing over him that are 10 minutes late. I don't
Hey,
know.
it's a great way to meet people.
Hey, yesterday I went.
Hey, what's up?
Last night we went and saw Jack Reacher around Ryan, and we still had somebody. It was a Jack Reacher. I'm sorry. Did I say something?
No. I just remembered something funny that happened. happened
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what that's about.
We didn't have reserved seating. We got there about a half an hour early, only because we were late to the other showing, so we went early to the next one. We didn't want to be. We didn't want to be those people.
That's a good solution. You know.
No, look. I agree. I do agree with free as a bird, Brian. It is a good thing. It's a great thing.
Oh no, you can't jump back over the fence.
No, but I'm just saying it's frustrating.
You just
at
gotta
times.
say
I'm saying there's pros
yes
and cons, but right
and
now,
no.
right now, my gripe is reserved
You see?
seating sucks.
So
For that reason, because you have people have that mentality
'Kay,
of like,
here's
I don't
what-
have to worry about going and getting my seat.
Or more to the point, people who are late to movies. Because that ultimately that is what's irritating. you.
That's
It's-
what's
it's,
irritating.
It's not.
It's-
It's not the reserved seating. It's that according to your reviews, reserved seating makes people more relaxed, so
Dave,
they
Dave.
don't have to be to the movie on time. I'm defending you.
No, I know. I'm jumping in and saying thank you because
Okay, see,
it's even
Hold
getting
on.
emotional, Dave.
Wait.
this is
Look at
why
you
we need.
done.
See,
I
this
have a sore throat. Leave
this,
me alone.
this is why we need therapy. We can't communicate.
I just had a breakthrough.
all right.
Yes.
Blew up John's headphones.
Just blew him up.
See,
I blew him up. Okay, so
Okay,
we
I
went to
had
the
a
movie.
Okay,
We
you're
went to the
right. I
movie
can't
last-
be on both sides of the fence.
We went to the movie last night, and people walked in what, a half an hour late?
Oh, like
Oh, why
way
even
after the
show
movie
up?
even started. Like the previews were way over. Like the movie had already been like running for like 10, 15 minutes.
They missed the first guy die,
What's the point?
and then they showed up.
Oh,
but then,
see-
so then they're like sitting in between people. Like they know they're past the point where they can even try to sit together. So now they're like squeezing in the middle of people. People are having to move their coats and purses. So this person had this extra seat next to him, and that was much worse. At least with reserve sitting, you come late, you can still sit together, and they're not going to come decide to sit between you. It'd be like me and you, John, going to a movie, and there's a seat next to, between us, since we don't want to sit right next to each other, right?
That's right.
And it'd be like this person coming 20 minutes late, and then sitting in the middle of us. Awkward.
That's
It
weird.
was worse.
that's
So if they had reserved seating, they'd know that, oh, look, there's like only the front row left. Let's just wait and go to the next showing.
That's
All
what,
right, so-
what you do in that situation is then give them your phone, turn on the text screen, so that will sick Dane on them, and he'll
Oh.
take a flying leap and execute them.
That's true.
Let's all right, so let's talk about this. Let's wind this up. Since I don't know how to make my own gripes, how do we leave that gripe?
People who are late to movies.
Okay.
I think they should not admit anybody into the theater after the preview start.
All right. Hey, if you guys have a gripe, feel free to send it in to us. We definitely want to hear about it on Hey, Let's Talk About This. We'll be sure to feature it in our segment, Hey, Let's Gripe About This. Let's go ahead and move on to our next segment, which is Tech Talk.
I liked how that overlapped.
Those are emotional
Because that was almost like Beatbox Trev was giving a spoken word version of Tech Talk.
Now, our bit that we have here in Tech Talk was actually brought to our attention by Charlie. And Charlie, you're the one that featured this and brought this to everybody's attention. And these are the Google Smart Contact Lenses.
Yeah, I
for
heard about these
diabetics.
going to work the other morning. Friday morning. Was it
Tell us a
Friday
little bit about this.
Apparently, Google, Google Glass who knows where that's going. But these contact lenses they came out with have a little chip built into them, and it can measure your blood sugar level through your tears. So for diabetics, you pop these contacts in your eyes, and I guess you only really need one. I don't know if they're prescription. I guess maybe you could get prescription kind if you already wear contacts. But they have these contacts you can. So you don't have to like stick yourself every hour or however often diabetics have to stick themselves to test their blood. They can just constantly monitor. So I guess it also means if you have the contact in, it's constantly testing your blood sugar level. You could have it set up so it would automatically, people have those like pumps built into their
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
right into their system.
Yeah.
We could automatically pump, it needs to, like, just give you the medicine you need. You don't have to give yourself shots. It self-regulates through a contact that's in your eye.
Now, how does it communicate? How would you know? Will it
Well, I think so. It has a little chip. I'm not quite sure how it communicates. I don't know if it's like just a wireless type of chip that's powered for so long, or maybe it's powered off of something else. I don't know. Maybe it's solar powered. I don't know. But I think at this point it must communicate with some other device.
Oh, it says here it will display on your smartphone, smartwatch, or even a head-mounted display such as Google Glass.
Yeah, the Google Glass is, I think, it's less appealing. But man, just to have it on your smartphone to give you a notification your blood sugar's getting low, time to give yourself a shot, or if it was communicating with the pump, just tell the pump to give you.
Yeah, if you could connect it somehow.
Mhm. But then maybe if it thinks that maybe it may be wrong, like there'd be safety precautions things built in, so you're not just giving yourself tons of insulin.
Yeah.
But maybe it could be tied into your phone still, so if it thinks something might be wrong, might be too high or too low, it'll still give you a notification telling you to do a check, do a legitimate blood check. You could get maybe once a week you could kind of calibrate it, see where it is in comparison to your actual blood sugar to make sure it's working right.
Or
This type of thing.
Or maybe it would tell you if you were using HCG instead of insulin.
Oh, hey, there you go.
Yeah.
I heard somebody did that one time.
My nephew.
Oh dear.
He thought he was giving himself insulin, and he just kept giving himself doses because he's like, this insulin's not working. And he injected himself with like a buttload of HCG.
No pun intended.
And he had to go to the hospital. And the funniest thing about it is, if anyone doesn't know what HCG is, it's
Me.
the pregnancy hormone that helps you lose weight. So
He started getting moody,
he started
PMS.
getting pregnancy
Lactating.
symptoms. Not really lactating, but he got morning sickness and could not eat anything because he was just nauseated. And my sister did joke with him and tell him, "Did you know that you're going to start lactating now?" And he was like, "Oh," all freaked out. It was funny. Anyway, sorry.
Sorry for what? That's a funny
How did
story,
he-
isn't that?
Good
How
story.
did he mix them up?
He
They're
didn't
in-
read the label.
Yeah, he didn't read the label, and they're both in little glass vials. So
It's a glass vial. It must be mine. I'll stick it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not a good thing, huh?
What I want to know is, when are they going to make mood changing contacts?
Dude, just wear the ring and you'll be okay.
No, dude, I want contacts so that when I'm pissed off, they turn bright green.
Just like the Hulk.
Exactly.
Yeah, I knew it, dude.
Yeah.
So let
smash.
me ask you this: is this something that's legitimately going to get made, or is this something that's just a concept right now, like a pipe dream?
I think right now it's concept, prototype. I think they could probably do a better job of it. I think down the road it's something they can actually legitimately come to pass. They'd actually manufacture and people who already wear contacts, they could just get this. You buy it from your same contact provider. It's built into your contact, and
Yeah.
then if not, you could just wear clear contacts that are just no prescription and help you out there. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, it looks like from this article and also the pictures posted that it's definitely in the testing on animals phase, which is
Yeah.
the final phase before it goes into
Yeah.
production. Because it shows a picture here of they have one in a rabbit's eye.
how do you get that in an animal's eye?
My guess is sedate it.
3 people hold it down. One person
They tell-
cautiously walks up.
Are there any PETA listeners?
Those bunnies, man, they vicious.
Hey, we just report it. We don't.
You know what the opening to Jurassic Park was based on? A bunny. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty dang cool that that they're doing this.
Don't make fun of me, Dave. Don't judge.
Oh no, you're just looking at me like, dude, you've gone off the deep end again.
No, I was just imagining the first part of Jurassic Park, but with a bunny instead of a velociraptor. And then I
It's
just
done.
No, Charlie, I'm with you.
It seems like it would be a thicker contact. It wouldn't be thin. I wear contacts, but mine are very, very thin.
Yeah.
This seems like it could be uncomfortable for some people, but it might be worth it.
Yeah, it does seem like it would have a lot of upkeep. Like you'd have to, because I remember, when I was much, much younger, and seeing my grandma put in her hard glass contacts. That it was like he had to have like 3 different solutions to soak it in, and I don't know. This seems like it could, at least in the first iteration, have.
We should do a whole
lot
segment
of
on that. Like, how
upkeep.
far has contacts come? That'd be
Yeah.
really groundbreaking,
Well, I wonder if
and I think the listeners would enjoy that.
we should do a whole show dedicated to contact technology. we could do
This works.
we could also talk about the movie Contact with Jodie Foster.
Ooh, yeah. Did she really go there, or didn't she? Because she only fell for a couple of seconds.
Well, she didn't want her privacy, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That's true. I just remember seeing that movie as a young kid and hating how they portrayed Utah.
I know. Jake Busey.
That is not Utah. I think he's
Oh, boy.
permanently banned from the state. He can't come into Utah because of the way he portrayed Utahns in that movie. No, I say this
boy.
all the time on this show, and I will not stop saying it, and I'll keep admitting that I say it. That I love to see when technology moves in this direction. Because I really feel like this is a way that technology benefits us. You know, it helps us, and so.
Mhm.
We've featured clothing that communicates with your phone or sends alerts to your loved
Yeah.
ones when your heart rate gets up to a certain spot or when you're stressed or something like that. And so I really like seeing technology move in this way.
I do.
The
For the betterment of
Right.
existence.
So I hope that Google can do something with this and that it becomes a mainstream product. A lot of the times though, with the tech that we feature, it doesn't become mainstream.
Yeah.
It becomes
It doesn't happen at all.
right,
Yeah.
and that kind of bums me out. I'd love to see something like this become mainstream. That's what we have on this week's episode of Tech Talk. Be sure to tune into more episodes for more Tech Talk. If you find anything or come across any talk that makes you stoked or excited or even makes you say, "Are you freaking kidding me?" be sure to send it our way. We'd love to feature it on the show. Up next, we have "Are You Freaking Kidding Me" news.
Are you freaking kidding me? That's crazy.
Are you freaking kidding me?
The management is proud to bring you this week's episode of Are You Freaking Kidding Me?
Makes you say, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Are you freaking kidding me?
That is still my favorite intro.
Yeah, it's awesome. The management would also like to thank Charlie's wife for finding our bit here in "Are You Freaking Kidding Me?" And Angeline, why don't you go ahead and introduce that since you're
Okay.
here in person?
All right, if I can get through it. Do you want me to read some of them too?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
But if we want you to explain it.
Okay, so on Amazon, you can get a 5-pound bag of gummy bears that are Haribo sugar-free gummy bears.
All right.
And they have a warning right on Amazon before you buy them that states that if you can't handle the sugar-free substitute, that you should eat these like sparingly, like a third of what you would regularly eat. And then the reviews are just like the funniest thing. So I'll read some of those. This one says, "Just don't unless it's a gift for someone you hate." Oh man, words cannot express what happened to me after eating these. The Gummy Bear Cleanse. If you are someone that can tolerate the sugar substitute, enjoy. If you are like dozens of people that tried my order, run. First of all, for taste, I would rate these a 5. So good, soft, true to taste fruit flavors like the sugar variety. I was a happy camper. But not long after eating about 20 of these, all hell broke loose. I had a gastrointestinal experience like nothing I've ever imagined. Cramps, sweating, bloating beyond my worst nightmare. I've had food poisoning from some bad shellfish, and that was almost like a skip in the park compared to what was going on inside me. Then came the flatulence. Sounds like trumpets calling the demons back to hell. The stench, like 1,000 rotten
This is a
corpses
very
vomited.
Eloquent reviewer.
It is so funny. I couldn't stand to stay in one room for fear of succumbing to my own odors. But wait, there's more. What came out of me felt like someone tried to funnel Niagara Falls through a coffee straw. I swear my sphincters were screaming. It felt like my delicate starfish was a gaping maw projectile vomiting a torrential flood of toxic waste. 100% liquid, flammable liquid napalm. It was actually a bit humorous for a nanosecond, as it was just beyond anything I could imagine possible. And it went on for hours. I felt violated when it was over, which I think might have been sometime in the early morning of the next day. There was stuff coming out of me that I ate at my wedding in 2005. I had 5 pounds of these innocent-looking, delicious-tasting hell bears, so I told a friend about what happened to me, thinking it had to be some type of sensitivity I had to the sugar substitute. And in spite of my warnings and graphic descriptions, she decided to take her chances and take them off my hands. Silly woman. All of the same for her, and a phone call from her while on the toilet, because you kind of end up living in the bathroom for a spell, telling me she really wished she would have listened. I think she was crying. Her sister was skeptical and suspected that we were exaggerating. She took them to work since there was still 99% of a 5-pound bag left. She works for a construction company where there are builders, roofers, painters, etc. Lots of people who generally have limited access to toilets on a given day. I can't imagine where all of those poor men and women pooped that day. I keep envisioning men on roofs crossing their legs and trying to decide if they can make it down the ladder or if they should just jump.
Oh my goodness.
This one.
Wait, was that all
was
one review?
That was one review.
Oh, someone needs to give that person an award.
Yeah.
That is the best review of anything I've read ever.
Oh, so many of these reviews should win awards, but okay, so this one says gastrointestinal Armageddon. When I got these, I couldn't contain my excitement and I ate about a quarter of a bag. Scenes from the movie 2012 could have been filmed inside my gut. There would have been less pressure to make 2 winning free throws in the NBA Finals than for gas to escape my bowels. After a few hours, I had extreme buildup of gas with no relief. All I could do was lie on my bed and pray for a fart. That might sound funny, but when you've eaten something that has basically turned you into the blueberry girl from Willy Wonka, you're pleading for relief. Well, the farts came and I lived through it, but I not only had a visit from the fart fairy, but the sales rep from Montezuma's Revenge stopped by and gave me a full demo of their services as well. Oh, this one says, best colon cleanse food ever. I pooped enough for 10 people, and now I know what chocolate rain really is.
Dude, I'm reading this one right here.
Oh my goodness.
And it's called One Shot, One Opportunity. And it's if you play that Eminem song, the One Shot song.
Uh-huh.
If you play that in your head, you can hear this. Palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. I just sharded mom's spaghetti. You get one shot, don't miss your chance to blow.
This almost sounds like they all read that first review and now are trying to top it or emulate it, or I don't know, but that's awesome.
This one, though, so there's just a few more that I have to read, but this one, talking about sharding, says, I nearly shat myself inside out. I'm pretty sure I crapped out a kidney or my spleen. I definitely heard the distinctive ching of that penny I swallowed back in '82. And now I can fit back into the jeans I wore in high school. This one says, be sure to buy OxyClean too, with this to get the blood and diarrhea stains out of your underwear, clothes, furniture, pets, loved ones, and ceiling fans. Yeah.
Wait, there was one other one that you mentioned where the guy talks about, he's like, what does he says? He's like a 290-pound guy.
280-pound man? Okay, I'll read that one real quick. That one says, No, I see you considering purchasing these. A fun little prank to play on someone's digestional tract. These are Satan bears. Myself and a few buddies, after laughing about some of these reviews, decided to buy some. Weapon storage was all it was. The package came a few days later and we chuckled and tried some. I decided to eat a few more and then some more. Nothing really happened that night. A little bloating, some discomfort, nothing to fret about. So praising that I must have been one who can tolerate the sugar substitute. When I got to work the next day, I sat down with a bowl and chowed down. That night, oh heaven forbid that night, I was glued to the toilet seat. Streams of fire burst from my colon when I wasn't experiencing Satan's fury exploding from my rear. I was laying in the fetal position on my bathroom floor, sobbing and asking for forgiveness. I'm a 280-pound man. I was sobbing. And he says, this is 100% absolutely true. Eat 2 at a time, 3 if you're brave. But please do not eat any more.
Oh, this is awesome.
Let me ask you, after hearing those, are you guys down? Are you guys down to get some and see if this is legit?
I think I'm going to buy some and give some to someone as a wedding gift so they'll eat them on their wedding night.
Oh no!
Oh, that's mean.
Oh boy, that is awesome. This actually makes me reminds me of one of my favorite Robot Chicken bits. Charlie, can you pull up YouTube? And I just want to play this quick little 30-second clip because
I love the questions here for this product. Customer questions and answers. Can I get 535 orders for our Congress? And the answer with, sure, we would be happy to assist you with this. Let us know if you need help ordering. And then question, does this product contain wheat? Well, no, but I didn't major in chemistry, and for all I know, the stuff on the label is mostly yellow cake precursors.
Robot chicken. What?
okay, robot chicken gummy bears. And it should be the first link. Robot chicken delicious gummy bears. And
I do want to buy some and take them to work or something.
I do
sure
too.
that-
Because you want to see in real life for yourself if they work. Like, I mean, they're not supposed to do this. It's not like a joke food, but it's just
Yeah.
like a natural occurrence. And so it's like, but I don't want to be a victim of it.
Gummy bear. Fucking mother. Oh, I guess there's only one way out of this. Goodness, I taste delicious. That wasn't bad at all.
Gummy bears! For candy this delicious, you'll chew off your own leg!
anyway, not quite as funny with a little bit of a delay on there, but
Gummy bear gets caught in a trap and has to eat, eat themselves out.
eat off their own leg twice. Oh,
I gotta say though, I don't know, man.
something tells me that this
I just-
wasn't tested right for the FDA or something, or
But they're in stock here on Amazon. I think that's yeah. Like I said, it's got to be a natural occurrence, and so I'm not hearing about anybody being able to tolerate it though, according to the
reviews.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure if I ate a bunch and I was sitting there and my stomach hurt and I was in pains, I'd be sitting there saying, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
Nice.
I should have done this. Like I said, I want to see it done. I just don't want to be a part of it.
So let's play the Charlie game. Okay. So for how much would you eat said bag?
The
and
bag?
and suffer the
Do
consequences.
I have to eat the bag or just like a handful?
Angeline, what do you think?
Oh man, because that person who even ate 1 pound of these things was like close to near death. They said if they finished the bag off, they would leave a suicide note.
So 1/5, so one solid pound,
I'd say even a full cup.
full cup.
Full cup. Yep.
Given what you know, the amount of pain that people go through, learning the true significance
do
of
we-
chocolate rain.
What do we
I think I'd do it. I eat a full cup for $50.
for $50?
Yeah,
For a full night on the toilet?
yeah.
What does that come out? You got to average that out an hour, so you get paid like $5 an hour.
Well, actually, yeah. I was actually just thinking. They bribed us at work for extra shifts during Christmas by $75. So, and that worked. I did work an extra 8-hour shift for $75. So I would, yeah, it would have to be at least 75 if I'm gonna be.
See, and I was thinking 100. Got to have a crisp 100 bill.
Yeah. If I'm gonna be,
Give
if
you
I'm
a
gonna
Ben
be,
Franklin
if
and
I'm gonna be tied to the toilet, lamenting my very existence.
And if I'm going to eat a pound, I want at least $500.
Yeah, definitely if you're going to have to eat a pound, it would be way more.
Either way, dude. Are you freaking kidding me?
Are you freaking kidding me? Right.
Cracks me up, man. That's awesome. That's some good classic stuff right there.
Freaking.
All right, there you go. That is this week's Are You Freaking Kidding Me? If you find any news clippings or anything, such as a 5-pound bag of gummy bears that gives you the runs, be sure to send it to us so we can feature it on Are You Freaking Kidding Me News.
The management would like to thank you for listening to this episode of Are You Freaking Kidding Me? And would like to invite you back for next week's exciting episode.
All right, let's go ahead and move on to one of our final segments of the show, which is our picks of the week. Do you guys have picks?
I do.
Angeline, Charlie?
Always.
Okay, cool. Dave, since you're the first one to jump at it.
All right. My pick, ironically enough, following last week's episode, is actually a tweet. One of the Twitter accounts that I follow had retweeted a tweet from another account that I thought was absolutely brilliant, and so I had to of course retweet it and then tell everyone I knew about it. Okay, so
Isn't that called twatted, Dave?
possibly. That is quite possible. We're still in debate about that, and
Now, did you do that yourself?
Waiting for the no. Anyway, so this is a horror story in 2 sentences.
Oh, yeah, dude, I read this, and it freaking scarred me for the rest of the day.
So I'm going to read said story.
Thank you at 12:10 in the morning.
Yep.
I
yep.
appreciate that.
Yep. Yep.
And I'm walking home tonight. Thank you.
I will give you a ride home. Okay. So, I begin tucking him into bed, and he tells me, "Daddy, check for monsters under my bed." I look underneath for his amusement and see him, another him, under the bed, staring back at me, quivering and whispering, "Daddy, there's somebody on my bed." It's awesome! Absolutely love it. Which that leads to my next pick, which is a short film director on YouTube that I follow named Drew DeWalt. He does short horror films. And the particular one that this reminded me of, there's 2 of them. I can't remember the title to the one that's more directly related to this one. But the film that introduced me to him is a short called Bedfellows. I would highly recommend checking it out, unless you freak out really easy, then I wouldn't.
Dave, you're... Never mind.
Let's say I managed to creep out a couple of coworkers by showing them this video. So you're not even going you're not even going close.
I'm not even going to go check it out, dude.
Yeah.
I won't either.
No, it is. Oh, it's fantastic. So if you do have the guts, Drew Daywalt, the YouTube channel is Daywalt Horror. The particular one I'd recommend is Bedfellows. Check it out. Those are my picks.
I just want to pick nice people. I like it when I go somewhere and people are nice. Maybe it's because I'm generally an angry person or an off-putting person or something. I don't know.
I wouldn't say that.
I think people are generally scared of me or something, and so they like stay away. But when they're nice, I like nice people. Anyways, that's my pick.
Well,
Works.
give us an example.
When I went to Walmart tonight, I usually hate Walmart, but somebody held the door for me when I went in, and then the cashier.
Like the automatic doors? They held the automatic doors for you?
Yeah, so they didn't come closing in on my head. No, there's like that side door that I always go in that you have to open by hand. It's not automatic. Anyways, so then the cashier, I went to pay her, and it was like $3.86 or whatever, and I gave her $3.90, and she's like, "Oh, here, have your nickel back. I don't need your pennies." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then I was leaving, and someone else held the door for me. So I was like, wow, Walmart was a pleasant experience tonight.
Chivalry's dead. Yeah, right.
Keeping it classy at Walmart.
All right, I'll go ahead and go. My pick of the week is a movie. It's a documentary on Netflix called "Deceptive Practices: The Mysteries and Mentors of Ricky Jay." And what this film does is it follows Ricky Jay, who's a magician or a sleight of hand type guy, and he does a lot of stuff with cards and everything, and it's awesome. It talks about how he got to where he was. He's a big deal around the world. He's been in a lot of movies, and he's had some shows in Vegas and around the world. And it just follows how he got to where he got to, and the mentors that he had growing up, and how he just kind of grew into this way of life. I will give you a heads up. I think there's about 3 F words. It's funny because they bleep
They
out.
say fart.
They
Yes.
they bleep out other things and they blur other stuff, but then they'll just rock the F word a few times. And so if you're offended by that, hopefully you can get over it, because it's awesome to see what he does and how he got to that point, and how he's mentored people now, so that this art doesn't die. And it's quite an amazing film. Something that a lot of people don't know too much about, because those secrets are guarded.
Yeah.
And he talks about how the icons of this talent have died, and what they knew is lost because they would never, ever, ever share it with anybody. And he said that he has stuff that he doesn't share with people, and other people that are interviewed are talking about how they wouldn't share what they've learned on their own and through other people and stuff like that, which kind of bums me out, because it'd be great to see that stuff live on. But and he recognized that and is trying to still mentor some people to continue this art. But I don't know if they'll learn everything out there that people have to offer, because the secrets are guarded.
Yeah.
But some of the footage, it's a lot of archive footage of Ricky Jay during like the 70s and 80s on talk shows, where he's throwing cards. He could nail a card. He could throw a card exactly where he wanted it. And he threw it at a watermelon, and he threw a card in the exact same spot twice.
Really?
And then he turned the card sideways, and he throws it at the outer shell of the watermelon, and it's pinging off of it. It's ricocheting off of it. He's like, "Oh, man, I got this one last card. Do you think I can do it?" And the crowd cheers, and he throws it, and it stabs into the side of the watermelon, and everybody cheers for him, and it's like kind of like that. He was so cocky because he knew he could do it that he missed all those other times on purpose, and he kind of alludes to that. Another time, he meets like the iconic sleight of hand guy, and wants to study under him. And Ricky's major thing that he would do is he would boomerang cards. He'd throw cards out, and they'd come right back to him and he'd catch them. And he's like, if you can do it 40 times, then I'll teach you this trick. And Ricky's like, and this guy's like, well, I've done it 39 times. And Ricky's like, okay, I'll do it. And so he does it 39 times, and then it comes up for the 40th time, and he looks at him, and he throws the card out, and it comes around, and Ricky turns around and catches it behind his back and just smiles at him, you know. And he's just kind of like one of those in-your-face type things, and so many other things. I mean, he would mess around with celebrities on talk shows and things like that. A lot of Steve Martin. There's a lot of clips of him and Steve Martin bantering back and forth and stuff. So, again,
That's
it's
cool.
Deceptive Practices, The Mysteries and Mentors of Ricky J. Fantastic movie.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Check it out.
putting it on my Netflix queue right now.
What's your pick, Charlie?
Well, I usually do some kind of app, but I think I'm gonna avoid the app. My pick of the week are these premium headphones. If you check them out, if you're watching live, you'll see a picture of them. They're from Monoprice. I decided to try them out. They were on sale. And I'm always trying headphones, as you know. I always trying demo headphones. And I have my Polks, which I love. I wear them every day at work. And even if sometimes they're not even on, just the fact that they're on my head, people tend to stay away, and I can get more work done. and so, but anyway, I've been looking for some good Bluetooth headphones. That way, I'm at my desk. I can kind of get up in my work area, but still leave my headphones on without being tethered to my desk. I like to listen to music or maybe listen to some podcasts, that type of stuff. And so, anyway, I tried these out. They're Bluetooth. They have rechargeable batteries. That's one thing I don't like about the Polks is I go through a lot of batteries. They're not rechargeable, so you can't really just plug them in and charge them. It's also a benefit because if they are dead, you can just throw new batteries in and then you're good to go. But the Polks have noise canceling. These don't. So you don't get the noise canceling. These are over the ear, which I do like over the ear headphones. The on ear seem to be more uncomfortable for wearing extended periods of time. These are adjustable, so they'll fit my big fat head. That's a plus. So you can pair them with multiple devices. So I can pair it with my laptop, my phone, whatever, and hear the audio. I can use it as a headset, so I can talk on the phone with them using the Bluetooth. They do have a hardwired cable, so you can turn them off completely. Let's say your battery's dead, you can turn them off completely and plug them in and use them like regular headphones, and they sound really pretty good, especially in plugged-in mode. Bluetooth, you can tell it's a little bit wireless, so you lose a little bit of quality there, but really not bad. The thing that you can't beat is the price point. Any guesses on price?
$20.
They're nice looking.
They're Bluetooth?
They're Bluetooth, rechargeable.
130.
I know you're a man of bargain.
You know,
I'm gonna say-
anything
I'm gonna
comparable
say,
to
I'm gonna
this
say
is
$100.
anything comparable to this is $200 to $300.
Right.
Yeah.
Anything out there right now?
Okay, I lied. I don't want to do 20. Everybody else.
The Polks are 300, right? The
Right.
Polk audio ones are 300.
Right. I'm gonna go 50. I want a solid $50.
$88. If you buy one. $89 if you buy one pair. If you were to buy 2 to 9 pairs, you could get them for $88. Yeah, 50 plus, you could get them for $82. But so far so good. I'll let you know how they last in a long time. I go through lots of headphones. I've tried
Well-
many pairs.
There's a headphone for every occasion.
There kind of is. In fact, I forgot to take headphones with me on my last gig. I had to use earbuds.
You could never have too many pairs of headphones.
Just like shoes.
Shoes and bags.
Oh man, I wish you would have got that like kink and smile after that, like that Angeline just did.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do it.
They'll just give you a neck injury if you try.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Hey, if you guys have a pick of the week, we definitely want to hear from you. We'd love to feature it on the show. So send your picks of the week to us here at Hey Let's Talk About This podcast.
Hair.
Yeah, really. All right, let's go ahead and wrap the show up with what did you learn on this week's episode of Hey Let's Talk About This?
I'll go. I
Okay.
learned that I hang out with Bigfoot every day, and that John does not want to experience chocolate rain, but he would like to see somebody else go through chocolate rain.
John likes
Wow.
to watch.
And she didn't even write them down.
That's right.
Let's see. What did I learn? Other than apparently I need to go back to my therapist.
Not me, dude. We got through a lot of stuff today. for me.
Angeline is the only person I know that can command respect at Walmart.
Amen.
So that is an accomplishment.
So we could call her the Walmart commander.
Yeah. Fear and respect. No, yeah, that's it.
All right, I'll go. For the Walmart commander, I learned that she has gotten her tongue stuck in the sucker. Has potential heavy lactators in her family.
Who are males?
Yes, who are males, I might add. Thank you, Charlie, for that. Totally appreciate that.
It is a rising serious condition.
We're
We're trying to put together a fundraiser.
For Charles Not Manson, I learned he has a face of granite, which I kind of deemed that one, so I took it. Want school drop-off zones to be more like airport drop-off zones,
Yes.
and would love to see the SWAT team, patrol that.
Bring that SWAT in if you have to.
For Davy Crockett, I learned he hates premature stopping of the gas pump,
Yeah, it's another serious problem I'm trying to raise a fundraiser for.
and he will also diarrhea his pants for $75.
Yep.
So,
Fit
listeners,
right in at work.
listeners, let's make that happen. You can send your gummy bears, your sugarless gummy bears, to hear us at. Oh man,
Here at Hey, let's talk about this
thanks. Appreciate that.
at JDDC show.
All right, Charlie.
I didn't learn much this week. If I did, I was too busy playing with these new Bang Dangly switching camera thingies. But I did learn that
The new cameras
you
are
guys are
sweet.
fun as usual. I can show me. And John can even see it over there.
That's right. You gave me my own little
Show
controller.
Dave. I even gave John his own little controller. Dave's yours is coming.
Mine,
I
I
didn't put it together yet.
love the color on mine because it looks like
So
a,
sepia.
a bizarre sighting video. Like
Oh, I put some expensive filters on these cameras. So
like
they
this is
look-
what the not so slender man really looks like.
They are good though.
Seeing you,
it is
and
fun.
You're all bright and golden and
It is fun that like you can switch in between people now.
yeah.
So if you guys are checking out the podcast, be sure to tune to us on Saturday nights. We do broadcast live on Ustream. You can check out the live feed. You can see what we look like. You can put some voices to some names.
Why you don't want to do that? We're not sure.
Hey, I don't know. With that being said, we do want to thank you once again for tuning into this episode of Hey, Let's Talk About This. We so do appreciate it, more than you will ever know. We hope you laughed. We hope you had some good times and enjoyed the show. At this point,
Beware the gummy bear.
ooh, hey, you just titled the show.
Awesome.
Beware of the gummy bear.
With that being said, let's go around the round table and thank each and every one of the people that are here. Dave, thank you for putting together that video game list and presenting what video games to be checking out.
My pleasure.
To Angeline, thank you for letting us into your home life, where you share it with Bigfoot.
Yep.
Some beef stick. You know you're a fan of some beef
No,
stick.
I don't share my beef stick.
Oh, you don't share your beef
No.
stick?
I'll share my home, but not my beef
Hey.
stick.
A year and a half later, we still don't have a restraining
did she
order.
Just title the show? Did she just title the show?
maybe,
I'll share my home, but not my beef stick. Let's go ahead and move on to your beef stick. Charlie, thank you for supplying us with the video or the new cameras and the mic stands.
It's too much
Yeah.
fun.
Great investments.
Yeah.
So it's a
fun.
far cry from us holding the mics.
I know, man. We've come a long way, and
We
it's
have
all
come a long
because of
way.
Charlie. And so, Charlie, thank you so much for everything that you do for the show, and thank you for letting us use your garage. And Julian, thank you for letting us borrow your husband every week.
Yep.
Totally appreciate it. And once again, to you, the listeners, thank you. Thank you for participating, especially free as a bird, Brian. And as always, we wish you were here.
So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? Did they get you to train your heroes for ghosts, hot ashes for trees, hot air for a cool breeze, cold comfort for change? Did you exchange a walk-on part in the wall for a lead role in a cage?